Randonautica can sure be random, but then again it's eerily spot on. Published to YouTube in January of 2021, Chelsea Luna writes, "This is my first time trying Randonautica and I was so excited to have my friends Omar from Omar Gosh TV, James from The Fam, and Carlos from Carlos The Fam joining me on this adventure, and just like that the adventure begins. They're driving along when something hits the back of their car."
What was that? What was that?
Bro, there's something just hit the back of the car.
It sounds like a rock or a pebble. They stop to see if something is back there, but they come up short. In the distance, something is heard. It sounds like coyotes or something.
You want a coyote?
I don't know what that is. Oh, stop.
Whatever it is scares the group, and they hurry to get in the car and lock the doors. Later, as they're driving by a bunch of tires, a strange growl is heard.
Lobster.
What is that?
What? No, why? You heard something?
It sounded like a growl.
Yeah, it sounded like a growl.
They continue on. A strange sound effect that the crew missed is heard in the background. It almost sounds like a disembodied voice is screaming, and it says, "You."
Oh, I like that.
Bro, you didn't say it at the last look.
At one point, they're taken to the statue of an angel defeating a demon. Carlos says he was thinking about an angel, so this is a bit freaky that the app drew them here. Does this creepy adventure make you want to never use Randonautica again? Because that's definitely the case for me. According to YouTuber 01 Supernatural Studio, a gambler lived in this place. He lost all the land in a bet and then chose to take his own life. Let's see if his presence remains. The ghost hunter quickly gets a reading.
黄色，不稳定。黄色，我会跳到红色。好 ，OK， 那这个地方怎么废弃的？我现在就来告诉大家。
Inside, his meter spikes.
来镜子前面测测看磁场吧。镜子这边红的耶。而且某方面来讲，这样的镜子会不会形成一个通道？
The spike occurs right next to a mirror. Could this be a portal into another world? As he continues to search, he hears a voice.
客家八音哎。小孩子的声音。
Here it is again with the infrared on. He asks the spirit to touch a paranormal device.
请教一下，就是那他的父母亲的灵体还在这个地方吗？如果还在的话，摸一下好吗？谢谢。
It seems to me that the spirit is here, but what the spirit's intentions are remains a mystery. It's midnight when Sylvia Slarb gets an iPhone notification that someone is at her door. She looks out the window and doesn't see anything, so she goes back to sleep. The next morning she remembers the incident and quickly checks her phone. This weird shining orb is what her doorbell cam automatically recorded on that night. I have no logical explanation for this aside from a possible insect, but as far as I know, a bug this small and this far away should not be able to trip the sensor. Therefore, I cannot exclude the paranormal as well. Don't Look Out the Window, published in November of 2011 by Mr. Jocko van Heerden. A group of friends just hanging out has one more hanger-on than expected in this scary video, filmed in Johannesburg, South Africa. The young people are just chilling in a bedroom when something catches their eye. Turning toward the sliding glass door, an enormous pale creature is standing outside their window watching. The creepy creature's features are vague, and at first it's not hard to tell if what's there is actually a living figure or not, but then it very clearly moves. Someone in the room gasps as the enormous figure lurks out of sight. What is this thing? Is it supernatural or extraterrestrial? And why is it watching them? I don't think I'd feel safe in that house ever again after this. Two unexplained videos have captured a strange sighting of a humanoid figure floating over Phoenix, Arizona. Anyone know what that is? Writes one of them in a Snapchat video posted on March of 2020. So far, no one has any idea. The uploader goes on to explain that they were in their backyard when a mysterious figure silently floated over them, an all-black outline with what they describe as wings in the middle. While I do see what he's talking about, I doubt they are wings because they are not moving. It looks more like a jetpack or something, and yet I don't see any exhaust, so it's probably not that either. An experimental drone or a weather balloon would be my next guess, and if it's not that, then maybe it's a kite shaped like a person. With that said, it's been over a year, and the strange sky sighting videos over Phoenix are still without explanation. The mystery is unsolved. This video comes from a YouTuber named Kusun2. He's a college student with an original Xbox that has a very strange and unexplainable problem. Every time he is hanging out by himself, his console likes to turn itself on. This happens so often that Kusun2 decides to record it for evidence. The only problem is that this Xbox appears to be camera shy. He'll stare and stare at it and it won't do a thing. It only seems to turn on when he is doing something else, almost as if it's trying to distract him. Even now as he films his Xbox and explains his story, it refuses to turn on by itself and makes him look like a fool. After talking for about 5 minutes, Kusun2 finally decides to test his theory and leaves the room. The Xbox does nothing for a long time, but then keep in mind that there's no way to turn on an original Xbox remotely, and he always keeps his controller neatly wrapped up on the top of the system, so he can't be using a controller that's out of sight. On top of that, things have been regularly disappearing and reappearing on their own, and now Kusun2 is extremely creeped out about being alone. A group of friends from high school are joking around in Call of Duty. As the round comes to an end, somebody enters the private party and turns on their mic.
I'm saying it's off.
Yeah, they got 2 of them in the...
This is soon followed by evil laughter.
We're literally getting drilled on.
Like I said, these are close friends from high school who know each other's voices very well. If any of them were joking, at least one of them would pick up on it and know who. And besides that, this next noise does not even sound like a human.
Mic that way?
I think I don't even...
The microphone at times sounds way louder and more clear than any of theirs, and sometimes like it's on another planet. Hopefully it was just hackers and not something from the other side.
Yeah, they got 2 of them in the...
3 photos and videos were shared on Facebook in Indonesia, showcasing the same strange phenomenon in the sky, posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019, with a video credited to Setiawan. The unidentified object was filmed in Aceh, backlit by a bright moon. This mysterious flying or floating object appears to just hang there at the side of the moon. The object isn't shaped like a flying saucer, but its origins are equally as mysterious, viewed at several different angles. I don't come any closer to recognizing what this object is. The local police were reportedly terrified by its appearance. Should they be? What do you think it is? Now you see it, now you don't. Published in December of 2017. This video begins with a man speaking Arabic. No translation or subtitles are included, so we can't tell you what he's talking about as he stands outside what appears to be a normal door with an elaborate gold door frame. Over a minute into the video, he opens the door to what appears to be a normal dining room. Speaking the whole while, he enters the room and shuts the door, giving a tour of the room which is empty. He tries opening another door on one side of the room, but it's locked tight, so he enters further in what appears to be a living room. There are toys inside, a car with a doll in it, but nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. That is, until he turns to film the other side of the room and pans back to the car. No more doll. He doesn't seem to panic, and it's hard to tell if he even noticed. He continues to wander around the room. While nothing more disturbing appears to happen in the duration of the video, the man must have experienced something frightening towards the end. As fear is heard in his voice, his camera drops and he rushes out of there.
ولا حد تقدر يزيه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
What was happening in this room? I don't know if I want to know. Did you know that man has explored more of Mars and the moon than we've explored the depths of our own oceans, which leads us to some of the strangest oddities on Earth, including this one, the giant's pyrosome, looking like a large transparent tube slide. A giant's pyrosome is comprised of thousands of identical clones of zooids that form an up to 60-foot hollow cylinder that can be wide enough for a grown man to fit inside. The free-floating tube appears like a ghostly discarded piece of see-through fabric known as sea pickles. Giant pyrosomes are bioluminescent, which means you can see them glowing blue-green in the sea at night. Published to YouTube by Ross Overstreet in June of 2018. And supplemented by footage from Luis Bringas in December of 2014, this giant pyrosome off the southern coast of San Clemente Island will send you off the deep end. These videos show the creature in action, or rather inaction as it floats unobtrusively near the seafloor. What would you do if you crossed paths with this oceanic nightmare? Would you be brave enough to swim through? And more importantly, would you make it to the other side? This is what happens when your doll comes to life. Posted on the Ghosts subreddit by Redditor, Enigma's Light 209, who writes, "Years ago my sister had a Dora doll. However, we never put batteries in it because at the time we couldn't afford a lot of stuff. My sister was singing and playing with the doll. Not noticing the doll turns its head to look at her. The clip is creepy enough to give you nightmares. The user's sister is in the bathroom, singing and playing at the sink. Her doll is perched beside her, motionless and staring off to the right. About 15 seconds in, the doll's head suddenly turns, looking directly at the camera and into our souls. Nothing more happens in the video, but the way the doll's head snaps around is reminiscent of a bad Child's Play-like scenario. My advice, destroy that doll immediately. Fire would probably be the best." Sometimes ghost hunters become the hunted, published by Yoon Sai-won in April of 2021. That's what happened to this Korean ghost hunter on one of his most recent investigations. Upon entering the haunted locale, he hears a strange noise.
안녕하세요.
It could be a dog barking in the distance, but who knows? Whatever it is, he has a bad feeling.
예, 불견지요.
And that feeling grows when the EMF meter reacts strongly, despite there being no electricity in the place. Using facial recognition software, faces also start to appear around the abandoned place. And they're getting closer by the second.
왜 저래 다가오냐?
Later, as the ghost hunter is using a spirit box, he hears a loud bump in the night.
아, 씨, 뭐야 또?
And then again as he continues his search. Is Yoon Sai-won being stalked? It may be best to call off this ghost hunt. According to Steve, this area is infamous as the site in which a person who was taking people's lives during the 1950s hid the bodies, and he may have lived in this abandoned home nearby, hidden in the woods. Published by Steve Ronan in April of 2020. The crew quickly comes across some unsavory items. This is an arrangement of bird skulls. Later, they find another piece of animal anatomy. What type of animal is this spine from? And why is it here? I'm starting to wonder if Norman Bates lived here. One last creepy thing they come across are these little figurines. A skeleton and what looks to be Gollum. Is this actually the house of this 1950s maniac? Why were all these possessions left behind? And what is up with the bird skull trophies? I'd be staying far away from this house.
That's creepy. So just some birds, huh? Bird skulls, or maybe mouse skulls?
No, I think it's like a rodent.
Yeah.
Like a family of rodents, but what them right here like this, I have no idea.
They're actual ghosts roaming around this ghost town? Published by Franco TV in April of 2022, this paranormal investigator is exploring an abandoned ghost town. At least he thinks it's abandoned. Franco soon hears movement. Was it something outside, or was this a bad omen? Although it seems like the mystery is solved, he later hears an unexplained snap in a dark room of the building.
I'm not sure what exactly is causing them. Oh my.
And then he finds this, another bad sign. The spooky sounds don't let up.
Right.
And Franco concludes that he's not alone.
I think there's somebody there. Yeah, hold on, there's someone.
But later he finds another animal friend who may have been causing all the racket.
Hey. Hi.
Was it this cat? Or is there someone else lurking here unseen? Well, driverless cars are a thing. I don't think this is one of them. Published in April of 2013, a mysterious vehicle is going berserk as it pulls up to the toll booth. The car's lights are flashing on and off as it drives forward. The toll booth operator holds out his hand, apparently not paying attention at first, but then he sees the most astonishing thing. There's no one in the driver's seat. The toll booth man stands up from his chair, leaning out toward the car in shock. You can see the steering wheel spin round, moving back and forth. There's no one in the seat, nor in the passenger seat, nor the back seat. The toll booth man exits his booth and stands in front of the vehicle looking in. That's when this creepy being climbs up the rear window. Dark hair, pale as a ghost, definite the Ring Girl vibes. The mysterious figure causes the toll booth man to fall on the ground in fear. He quickly rushes off screen, and that thing on the rear window keeps on climbing toward the roof before sinking again out of sight. Is this video real? If so, I don't think things ended well for this toll booth worker. Something unsettling is going on in this haunted house. Published by Mr. Horror in February of 2022, the scary video begins with this mysterious clacking noise. The room is empty and the floor looks like it's covered in dirt or sawdust, or as some in the comments suggest, flour. The clacking continues, followed by a large banging sound. Then footsteps appear as something invisible walks across the floor. Many in the comments note how big the prints are. Others are just glad there isn't a jump scare. To what or who do you think these prints belong? For now, I think it'll remain a mystery. A YouTube channel called Kiwi in Japan has the creepy encounter of a lifetime that leaves everyone screaming with fear and excitement in the kitchen.
Oh, that's freaky. That is so scary. Oh, yuck.
With a bowl in one hand and a piece of paper in the other, he hatches a plan to cover the spider and slip the paper underneath to contain it. It doesn't end well.
You ready? Ah! Oh, sorry. You got it. Okay.
What is it?
At 1 minute and 14 seconds, the spider literally jumps out of the way and almost lands on his arm. He's wearing no gloves and a short sleeve shirt when it happens, meaning he's completely vulnerable. Fortunately, it's more interested in finding shelter than battling back. It's fast enough to evade him 3 more times, but with legs that long, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. After a final showdown in the closet, he apprehends the arachnid and sends it back on its way to nature with a final toss. I bet they're really glad to have gotten rid of it. I don't think I could still live someplace where I saw a spider take up a whole entire room of a corner before. At least not until it was taken out of the house, and I'm definitely not sure if I would have been brave enough to try and capture it. Talk about scary stuff. A YouTuber named Blake Smith's Gaming Blitz lives alone and often hears wearing sobs in his basement. He says that he is way too strapped for cash to afford a Bluetooth speaker, and that this is real. Take a listen for yourself. At 57 seconds into the video, the spirit seems to respond to his voice.
Hello? Hello?
He pokes around the corner, and sitting in the far corner of the room is a tiny entity made of light that kind of resembles a small child. I took a screenshot to better illustrate what I'm saying. The shape looks roughly symmetrical, and the head is looking directly at the camera. This ghost video from a bus station in Sydney, Australia has everyone convinced it's real, even the camera equipment itself. A shadowy mist floats across the upper right monitor, and soon motion tracking equipment puts a bright orange box around it to confirm. It eventually floats off the monitor, at which point it should show up on the other monitor to the left, but nothing appears. The motion sensor tries to track it for a bit longer and then gives up. It has simply vanished. Two friends stand on the edge of the woods, looking for a figure that's said to haunt their suburban neighborhood in Missouri. What they encounter while exploring this forest opening has left people asking if it's real or fake for years since. A shadow person kneels in the woods, regarding them without saying a single word. They see the shadow for only a moment, but it's scary enough to make them drop the camera and run. Later, they retrieve the camera and upload it onto YouTube. If you listen closely, moments before they see the strange figure, you can hear his friend Ben saying he feels something piercing through him. Something like its cold, lifeless stare. What you don't know can't panic you, right? Posted to Reddit, the uploader, Jason Green 3 explains in the comments, on April 25th, 2013, at about 9:20 p.m. local time, an unknown object at low altitude flew directly across the Rafael Hernandez Airport runway in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, causing a delayed departure of a commercial aircraft. Green continues on, explaining that this infrared video on the thermal imaging systems of the CPB DHC-8 aircraft was captured by US authorities. This video is reportedly obtained legitimately by an anonymous source. According to their information, the object, between 3 to 5 feet wide, was flying around various speeds between 40 and 120 miles per hour with an 80 mile per hour median speed. When it entered the water, its speed did not slow down or demonstrate obvious impact, traveling at a similar average speed as it had in the air. Upon entering the ocean, the object spilt, re-emerged for an instant, and then both pieces traveled at the same speed. The Redditor writes that there's no known origin for this object, and no clue as to what might travel at these speeds through air and water. At least one Redditor suggests it's a weather balloon, while most others accept that this is an unidentified flying device. What do you think this could be, and are you panicked? Some haunted places are meant to be left alone. The Old Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada is one of them. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by I'm the Cat Daddy. This video footage explores the Washoe Club in one of the nation's first industrial silver mining cities of the Old West. Prospectors arrived during the mid to late 19th century in order to stake their claim, and with money came the need to spend it. That's where the Old Washoe Club came in, also known as the Millionaires Club. This was a place where anything goes, with one main entrance and two secret entrances to keep the VIP's secret shenanigans under wraps. The Washoe Club also doubled as a holding cell for the passed away. At least one room did, as passed on individuals were placed there until gravediggers were able to properly bury. With such a sordid history, of course, myths and legends are abound. 3 ghosts are said to haunt the place. A blonde apparition called the Lady in Blue haunts a spiral staircase. A small ghost girl is somehow lost there. And lastly, a prospector causes trouble around the bar, disappearing drinks that are left unattended, and drinking the shots that the bartenders leave for him when they close for the night. This video doesn't show these full-bodied apparitions, but does unveil a paranormal incident. As the Redditor explains, he and some army buddies decide to explore the Washoe Club for paranormal activity. He writes, "We were told by a few ladies who ran an occult store in Sparks, Nevada, to look out for a dark entity named Steve. He apparently likes to close doors in a room called the Red Room." Though not in this video, during an EVP session in the club, they asked for a name and received Steva in response, and that wasn't the ghost's only response. As one of the bros provokes the ghost and asks it to answer them, a nearby door starts to close on its own. The men start screaming and flee the scene. The Redditor says they all felt Steve's presence in the club, and he continued to slam doors as they collected their gear. They also felt their jackets being tugged on and a finger ran up one guy's back. I was thinking you probably shouldn't provoke a ghost like this, and many in the comments agree with that statement, while others who also investigated the club attest to similar paranormal happenings there. Is this place next on your paranormal bucket list? I think I'm gonna stay very far away from this place. While light can certainly play tricks on us, and on a camera, things can get creepy. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Garno7 explains that he and some friends were hanging around their campfire near a lake, and one of them captured this on his phone. The clip shows a figure appearing to run from their group of people into the roaring flames. Watch as the camera pans from left to right. Can you see it? While many in the comments say the figure is nothing but a lens flare. A couple Redditors counter that argument. Redditor Patrick RS Ghost writes, "At first I thought it was some flare or something due to the transition from dark to light very quickly, but when I looked closer I could see something start to move within the crowd at around the 2-second mark, almost to the left of the little girl in the pink sweater, right as the camera starts to pan, and upon looking again, I can totally see what this Redditor is talking about. So now I think there's a good chance this could be paranormal, because when you take the time, it seems to sync up." A young woman was walking home late at night when she was met with a worst-case scenario. Someone was following her. Posted to TikTok by Carolina Judah, the TikToker captures a montage of her journey from the foggy streets to the bus to a dark walk on her road home. A man is seen standing behind the bus stop. He is nothing but a shadow. She says she ignored him and just continued walking. Capturing a shot between her though, she finds that he's trailing her about 20 feet away. As the journey continues, he seems to be speeding up, and in fact, he gets closer. He appears to be wearing a hood. Carolina says he began shouting something at her, and she thought he'd been drinking. He falls behind a ways, and as soon as she rounds a bend, she sprints home. Although she couldn't see him anywhere when she arrived, 20 minutes later she heard the doorbell at the gate. She called her mom, but there was no answer, and outside her window she spotted the man standing just outside the gate. The man later jumped to the gate, crossed the garden, and tried yanking on the door handle. Carolina locked herself inside the bathroom waiting for her parents to arrive. He eventually stopped, but she stayed put, too afraid to move. In the video's comments, TikTokers suggest not to walk home when you're being followed, but rather lead the stalker to someplace with people and/or bright lights. This route looked like it had neither, so what should she do in this case? Any suggestions? Something is terrorizing these poor pets. Originally posted to TikTok by El Otrolado 21, a pair of pups are surprised by an unknown object being pulled or pushed across the ground. The security footage shows an item roll across the floor, seemingly on its own. Is it being dragged? Is it being rolled? By whom? One dog moves from his seat on the couch, while the other merely lifts his head as the object rolls before following his friend's lead. Is a human playing a trick on these animals? Or is it a phantom? Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Havoc Nova, this Redditor wrote, "Walked into my office to start my workday and found this, and I can see exactly what he's talking about. Something is up with that cool Scarface poster. It's like an invisible hand is rocking the poster back and forth. Even when the Redditor tries to steady the poster, it continues to move. While some people like myself are first jumping to this office being haunted, not everyone is convinced." Laundry Ghosty wrote in the comments, "You need insulation in your walls. There's a small hole allowing a breezeway from the exterior wall to form. This phenomenon happened in our current house. It turned out it's because the insulation that was blown into the walls 30 years ago needed repairs and replacing. So what do you think? Is this office actually haunted? Or are these walls just in need of some more insulation?"
Who's doing this?
Vorkuta was a coal mining settlement during the Soviet era. It has since become a semi-deserted wasteland. Published by Vagabond, this adventure seeker went to check out the ghost town at the end of the world.
Here is roughly more than 200 people.
On the background of such amount of abandoned buildings, an active mine looks surrealist.
Traveling there by train, the only accessible means of transport to the area, he encounters the first steam engine that ever appeared in the area in 1944. The once thriving city was served by 13 coal mines in its heyday, where workers received a good salary and twice the pay they might back home due to the added northern coefficient pay. Directly across from clean bright offices are empty derelict buildings. Other empty structures are topped with massive piles of snow. Atop an enormous 9-story building is a phrase that translates to "Glory to the conquerors of Arctic territories." Vagabond also takes in the coal miners' quarters, located on the Vorkuta River embankment. Would you be able to live in this half-abandoned Arctic town? You'd better learn to love the cold. "You couldn't pay me money to stay in this house." Posted to TikTok by Jen Barari, the TikToker explains that strange things have been happening in her barn-style home. As she's speaking, she hears something, even though she's home alone. She follows the noise. You can hear repeated loud banging coming from the living room. Her cat looks uneasy. When she enters to find no one there, she asks the spirits to stop and leave.
Can you stop?
She then turns to capture her reflection in the television, and it looks like a dark shadow is creeping up behind her. Turning around, there's nothing there. In a later clip, she is showing her viewers the pond outside when a dark shadow passes behind her in the reflection of the window. She walks around the house turning all the lights on, and something starts banging again. She takes this as her cue to leave.
Oh my it's okay. It's okay. Holy.
In the comments, TikToker Danny writes, "My electricity bill would be so high because I would never turn a single light off in that house ever." Some say this made their skin crawl. Others suggest sage. Still others say this is beyond sage. I say you should avoid finishing this video unless you're truly brave. Is someone there? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit. Resurrect writes, "The De Soto mine in Arizona is the creepiest place I've ever been. At the time this was taken, nobody else was there. Yet listen closely to their recording. From deep within the mine, you can hear footsteps walking on what sounds like wooden planks." The Redditor says in the video that his eyes are playing tricks on him, but he writes that they didn't hear anything but water droplets at the time. They only heard the footsteps later as they watched the recording back.
I really hope it's not my eyes playing with me, but
Is something in this tunnel with them? Some in the comments think it's paranormal, others suggest the water droplet theory, which is that the echoing of water droplets can distort to the point that they sound like other sounds. What do you think? Is this nothing but distorted water droplets? Or is something at the end of that dark tunnel? Daffy of Busan TV is a YouTuber from Ambon, Indonesia, who makes ghost hunting videos in Depok City. One of the scariest, most haunted places he's ever gone exploring was a large abandoned hospital that shut down after too many things went wrong.
Belum lama rumah sakit ini terbengkalai. Astagfirullah. Anjir, serem amat ya.
One of the hospital's final mistakes before getting shut down was letting a nun named Sister Nancy pass away on the ICU floor. Now her angry spirit is watching over this haunted place and not in a loving way.
Assalamualaikum.
Well,
Antara gua halu atau tidak, tapi tadi gua ngelihat seperti ada orang lewat di sini.
As Daffy goes exploring, only the smallest of clues, flashes of light where his camera is not pointing, for example, belie the presence of anything paranormal. A walled-off entrance reveals an even older wing that feels entirely wrong. This place is haunted more than any other part of the hospital, he's sure of it. Soon he finds the ICU room on the second floor, the place where the ghost nun is said to haunt. He knows there's no turning back now.
Tadi gue mendengar sesuatu dari arah sini. Oke, kita langsung aja ke ruang ICU. Suster Nancy.
He leaves the ICU ward feeling extremely uncomfortable, but without conclusive paranormal evidence, and as he takes a final look around...
Keren, sumpah ini keren. Assalamualaikum.
He hears something moving on wheels one room over. A row of cots remains undisturbed except for one that's been pulled out. I don't know if it was Sister Nancy, but I wouldn't stick around to find out. This video is over half an hour long, and I get every impression that he's truly exploring this abandoned hospital all by himself. A hospital that's every bit as haunted as the rumors say. German ghost hunter Cubanito goes exploring an abandoned haunted house for one of the scariest 3 AM videos I've analyzed in quite some time. The haunted house has long been abandoned in the woods. Getting inside is quite a chore because an unsafe wooden ladder is missing many steps. Inside is a dark and heavy feeling that makes them whisper nervously. A missing section of wall shows a hidden room under the steps.
Hey. Warte mal. Haut doch weg. Du ins Verlängerungskorb. Komm.
They hear a loud noise and run outside, but they didn't come here to get scared off in the first few minutes, so they continue the 3 AM paranormal investigation and go in. This time they manage to get upstairs and come to a door painted solid black at the end of a long dark hall. They are beyond freaked out, but nobody wants to quit, so against their better judgment they open the door. In this decrepit little bedroom they find a warning written on the dresser. I feel like it's a warning about a ghost, but the Google translation is so off that I won't even bother telling you what it says. If any of my German subscribers could tell me what this means, I would really appreciate it. The second word definitely looks like stop. They start to prod the door open but cannot bring themselves to. It's probably for the best. Who knows what was in there? Probably nothing good. There's one room left to check out on the top floor. This room looks like it's seen a lot of party action. It might even still be inhabited by some. They start to worry about the floor breaking, and that's when it might actually start to.
Was kann ich alle auf einem Flexband einrichten?
Stopp. Scheiße. Die Scheiße. Scotty. Scheiße, Bob.
Ey, los geht was nicht.
A snapping noise sends them all running out of the house before their 3 a.m. challenge becomes a 3 a.m. rescue. A Ring doorbell captures some strange activity outside of Mike Crook's house that could be paranormal or a camera glitch. A shadow person walks down the sidewalk, mysteriously disappears, and even though he never emerges from the other side of the bush, you can still hear footsteps that actually sound like they're getting closer to the camera, if anything. The audio also plays weird noises at the exact moment the ghost disappears, which is even more evidence that this frightening moment could be paranormal. Considering this bizarre event was caught on camera around Halloween, I think it was probably edited, but maybe this is proof that there is something supernatural to All Hallows Eve after all. A YouTuber named Brett Johnson says there is a ghost in the hallway of his house haunting him every night when he returns from work, and what's most bizarre is that the paranormal activity only happens in the hallway. The ghost doesn't seem to care about haunting any other places. It's not a draft either. Even with a big fan blowing the opposite way, a ghost still closes the door. And when he puts his camera down and waits for 2 hours, the door behind the fan mysteriously opens. It's like the ghost is messing with his mind. I would say that this is a fake video except for one thing. When he investigates the rest of his house to show us, nothing is there. A weird noise happens nearby, like something passes right by him, and it seems to have left through the front door. Something's Watching You, published by Paranormal Instincts in January of 2022. A girl was walking her dog at night in the woods when she captured something observing her amongst the trees. The video clip shows the girl walking along a dirt path in the darkness. As her camera pans to the side, a tall, gaunt, pale figure dressed in dark clothes is spotted, standing next to a tree watching her. Although she doesn't seem to see it, her dog senses someone there. He stops and looks in the figure's direction on full alert. She has to urge the dog to come along.
Come on. Come on.
When she pans the camera back toward the same tree, the figure is no longer there. They continue on their walk, hopefully without any further encounter. But I imagine after watching this video back, there will be no further midnight walks either. Iljin Pudding of the South Korean YouTube channel Ghost Horror Diary has a creepy video with an important message. Iljin wants to prove that ghost hunting is not a men's-only activity, and that she can be just as brave. She goes exploring an abandoned building all by herself, a haunted place where paranormal energy pours forth from the entrance. Now, this lone ghost hunter starts to catch some very interesting things on video.
여잔데?
Next, she captures this. A scary smiling ghost face makes her recoil in horror.
항상 찍히면 문에서 많이 찍히더라고. 근데 오늘은 안 찍히는 게 그랬나 봐. 뛰다닌다고? 야, 일로 와봐. 뭐야?
She presses on down a hidden hallway teeming with paranormal energy, and at the top of some stairs is a really weird painting that she zooms in on. Something about this place, the painting, the room, feels haunted.
뭐야 이게 이상한데요?
No more than this, she says, and walks back down. I would like to know more about this painting if anybody happens to recognize it, or anything about the scene it's portraying. It looks like somebody in knight's armor is raising a shield in the air at a podium with someone kneeling behind them, but that's all I can tell. Oh, and there's one more thing that's scary. On the floor of another room is a handwritten sign with this message that freaks her out. Who left it here and what does it say?
아니, 이거 한글 맞아요?
A group of friends are exploring an abandoned house, but they get no further than the front door before they get freaked out by a possible ghost sighting. According to the description, if you look closely at the right side of the window, you'll see a shadow figure looking at them. Take a look at what they've caught on tape and tell me if you see a shadow figure on the right.
No, that's a shadow, that's shadow.
Exactly.
At first, I thought they were maybe talking about this shadowy figure down here, which is on the right like they say, but I'm pretty sure that's the shadow of the person holding the camera, and what could be a glowing eye is actually light from their camera too. Also, the person in a red shirt who sees the shadow figure is pointing in an entirely different direction. Like I said, I don't see anything paranormal in this video, but every single person in the comments says there is a shadow figure caught on camera if you look close enough. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean one isn't there. Somebody help me out because I want to know what they are looking at. When you do see it, apparently it's really scary. A YouTuber named Rifat claims that going to this haunted place in Palestine proved to be a psychological undoing. Let's see what was so scary in this paranormal exploration gone wrong. He seems to have trouble keeping his balance and stumbles backwards twice for no reason.
يا شباب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا شباب قلت أجرب الله يقطع شر يوم تمت بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
At this point, I think he realizes there's no way he should be falling 3 times in 5 minutes and thinks a ghost could be near, as he is trying to decide if this is really happening or just his imagination. Some of the best paranormal EVP evidence ever recorded is caught on camera.
هذه قصة وأنا والله العظيم خايف يعني ممنوع في الليل عن جد ممنوع يعني نطلع هيك كمان إيه إيش هاد؟
Loud and scary screaming noises are coming from the woods. The screams of a human, most certainly not an animal.
من وين أطلع؟
He doesn't investigate the noise because this could be a spirit setting up a trap that he is too smart to fall for. I'm glad he didn't go any further. If he had gone any deeper into the forest to see what it was, then this scary video might not ever have been uploaded. I have a feeling that he narrowly avoided getting ambushed by some group of bandits or even something paranormal. I want to know what you think about this interesting paranormal video posted by Darkalooz. First, 2 pieces of his overhead vent fall off, but when it happens, the camera freezes. So is this an electronic interference from spirits, or is it poor editing? Next, this chair turns all by itself. It's by a window and behind a table, and therefore far out of reach. Perhaps eeriest of all are these 2 legs with no upper reflection. You would logically assume this is Darkaloo's recording, but if it was, as one commenter points out, then where is the rest of him? Jared Costa hears this eerie buzzing noise over his Southern California home at 5 in the evening. He looks above for helicopters but sees nothing. Take a listen and tell me if this sounds like a helicopter or not. I think it sounds like nothing of the sort, but at the same time, I don't have a better explanation to offer. Commenters from Palm Springs to La Mesa all claim to have heard the exact same noise. Years later, the noise remains an unsolved mystery. A YouTuber named Seg goes into the woods and finds an old rotten house. He and his friends feel something watching them nearby and they both run away. As they are checking out the raw video a few minutes later to see what it was, this strange orange circle pays them a visit and hangs around the corner of the shot.
Wait, did I get it? Why would you go to your backtrack?
To be perfectly honest, this looks like it is almost definitely the cameraman's thumb, but Sage says the orange light is way too bright to be anything but the supernatural. He says that this is the only source of light, and therefore something behind the light should not be brighter than everything else in the shot. I'm not sure if I buy this theory, so I wanted to run it by you. Is this a ghostly presence, or a ghost investigator's thumb? The last place you want to hear screaming is in a cemetery, in the darkness of night. That's what YouTuber Thrills heard when he was visiting Fox Island Cemetery, which is said to be haunted by a man in black. As they first enter the cemetery, they hear an unexplained hissing noise.
I will say the other camera is a lot easier to hold.
What the heck is that?
It's not, yeah, not, I heard that too.
And soon the screaming starts.
Did you hear it again?
Yeah, I just heard.
After moving along, they hear the screaming a second time.
It's this way too.
I definitely just heard something, yeah.
And then a third directly after.
I definitely just heard something, yeah.
While this might be a wild animal or someone just hollering for the fun of it, it could also be the legendary Man in Black. I think he might just be toying with them. A group of ghost hunters are exploring a notoriously haunted retirement home in Ohio at 1 a.m. when they manage to find something strange and unsettling.
Into the bathroom. Here it is again at half speed.
One of the ghost hunters barely manages to catch this fleeting shadow while turning around. The room to the right is completely empty and nobody is inside, plus everybody else is in a different section of the house. It doesn't look like the camera is simply adjusting to different lighting conditions, so there really is absolutely no reason for a shadow to be on the right side of the screen like that. To me, it looks like something is possibly making a quick escape. This video looks like it was intentionally set up to capture something that has been appearing in a closet lately. At first, you can't really see anything, but after a while, the shadows begin to form into a human-like figure. The shadowy shape peeks out from behind the door, and at one point even appears to have two bright white eyes. The grainy quality of this video is a strong indication that it was edited. But then again, this may be a very old cell phone video, or perhaps a very early internet video that needed to be heavily compressed before uploading. Two women get on an elevator and strike up a friendly conversation with each other. They shuffle around a lot, and you can tell nothing is occupying the area behind them. Soon they get off the elevator and leave behind a child who is glowing bright white. The otherworldly aura looks like it was probably edited using special software. The way the child looks straight down is a somewhat outdated horror movie cliche. Both of these indicate that this video is most likely fake, but there's something about it that makes me feel it could be real. So I'd like to get the final confirmation from you. What do you see here? Post it to the Paranormal Videos subreddit. Redditor Upstairs Bicycle 1721 wants some sort of explanation for this mysterious clip. Let's take a look. The mysterious vertical rods hover side by side in front of the camera for a moment before one of them takes off and disappears out of sight. The second figure slowly drifts right until it's out of frame. Nearly everyone in the comments is perplexed by this video. Although I don't think this is a spider web either, I don't have any rational ideas as to what they could be. Do you have an explanation? A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640, this video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, "I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out." He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. If you hear this sound, run for cover. Rays of light shine upward in this video, published to Paranormal World in December of 2020. But that's not the only oddity in this clip. Turn the sound on full volume and you'll be blasted into the midst of a prehistoric jungle. The light then turns into what looks to be a winged figure, and the sound becomes more symphonic. The creature forms a sphere before its wings reappear, perhaps preparing for takeoff. The man filming takes this as his cue to leave, but judging with a creature like this, he can run but he can't hide. Is Laney and Ben's poltergeist getting stronger? Watch this video and judge for yourself. As usual, the poltergeist seems to be most active in the kitchen.
Activity more and more aggressive.
He has even resorted to ruining their dinner.
Poltergeists just seem to be so frustrated.
And he isn't finished. It goes without saying that Laney and Ben share space with one of the most active poltergeists on YouTube. I don't know if Dave and Andy are becoming more aggressive due to anger, or if their YouTube following is cheering them on. Most of the passengers have on headsets and are watching a mid-flight movie, but one of them sees a reoccurring image and takes out their phone. This brief clip is the final instance of what they saw. Floating up from one of the seats is a formless mist that briefly swirls into the shape of a twisted face and disappears. All airlines are smoke-free nowadays, but I suppose that could be another possibility. Amit Daksh has caught some scary activity at the Babina station in India that he thinks could be paranormal. He's filming a train pass by when a shadow figure passes in front of him at 20 seconds. He thinks this could be a real ghost sighting he's caught on tape, but I'm wondering if it's his own shadow under the train's bright lights. Something's weird about the angle though, so maybe it's a real person, or a shadow figure like he claims. Freaky, right? Built around 1635, the Pidhertsi Castle is said to be one of the most haunted places in Ukraine. Take a look at some of the best paranormal evidence ever taken out of the creepy castle.
Andriana! Andriana!
A ghostly figure appears in the window and waves at them before mysteriously disappearing. It's not a reflection of clouds because of how quick it fades in and out. The person filming calls out the name Adriana, who I think was the name of one of the king's many wives hundreds of years ago, and whose life was possibly taken by him. Or it's just good editing. Hard to say. This place is said to be absolutely flooded with supernatural forces, so who knows? This home security video shows two bright orbs hovering over some bikes in Carolina Beecher's front yard. She watches in silent amazement as the lights remain fixed in place, close to where you would grab the handlebars. The only explanation I have besides spirits is perhaps a dual reflection of the car's brake lights. That still doesn't explain how they float all around though, while the car lights remain stationary. At times the lights even seem to join together and become one. Narrator subreddit. This Redditor writes, I've been getting haunted for a while now, and now it's messing with childhood pictures of me. In the clip, the kid says his door won't stop opening, and in that moment it's flung open. Shortly after, a series of pictures falls slightly from the wall and starts to swing. Is this a demon as the Redditor suggests? Another Redditor in the comments thinks it may be a ghost or a spirit, but likely not a demon. He offers advice writing, ask it how you can help, maybe research your house to see what may have happened there. Other Redditors like iPro thinks this video looks legit. I'm genuinely scared for you, he writes. I think we all are. This video, posted in November of 2013, purports to show found footage of a graveyard sighting. The clip opens on a headstone reading Maria Melgar. A cross made of punched out holes is centered in the stone, making one man wonder aloud what was supposed to be placed in the holes. The cameraman zooms out, capturing his friend pointing in the distance. He says that's where the grave is. They zoom in closer on the figure. It does appear to be tall and slender, and apparently is standing right in front of the cameraman's brother's grave. The figure is dressed in a suit, seems to be bald, and has an extremely pale face. Is this Slender Man? Or just some creep in a cemetery? I guess we'll never know for sure. When things go haywire in your own home, it's easy to jump to a paranormal conclusion, especially when there appears to be poltergeist activity. Posted to YouTube in January of 2012, the uploader explains, this is real footage taken at my house. As you can see the way the bottle moves, this is inhuman and impossible for a human to make a bottle move and gesture in these motions. This is totally real and scary, so if you are faint of heart, do not watch this please. This is video of real paranormal activity. In the video, the men enter the kitchen, where a bottle on the floor appears to be rolling around of its own accord. After they enter the room, it stops for a moment before spinning around again. It twirls on its side and then stands straight up on its base. One brave man picks it up and puts it on the kitchen counter, which is where the clip ends. YouTuber MRLWAP2 in the comments suggests there's helium in the plastic bottle, but most people are more alarmed by the zebra pattern cupboards than the so-called ghost. Jenny Chanel writes that zebra print would make even a plastic bottle want to escape a room. So is this a supernatural case, or simply a case of terrible interior design? Only that soda bottle knows. YouTuber Hey Charmaine began posting about her experiences in her home. As her story unfolds, so does a terrifying truth shared by YouTube channel The Gravedigger. This scary video shows how Charmaine's horror story escalated. It all started with this strange object she found.
I got a pack of Pepperdine like 10 years ago, but it's modeled after the Bodhidharma, and I don't usually take it out.
After setting up security cameras in her room, she captured things moving unexpectedly. A few days later, while the dog was sitting for her friend, this happened.
Why are you whining, baby? Cooper, what are you staring at?
There's nothing in the hallway.
Later, she captured a figure watching her home in the darkness of night and then heard something inside.
What is he doing?
After deciding to go stay at her parents' house for a while, things escalated. Watch the doorway behind Charmaine.
It would have been really nice not to let me stay there and
What was that thing?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure what this figure is, but it seems to be related to the mysterious object that Charmaine found. With all these strange events unfolding, Charmaine has lasted a lot longer here than I would have. YouTube channel The Haunted Side Paranormal Investigations asks, would you keep going? But before you answer that, here's some context. In this short video, they were exploring Sutro Tunnel Ghost Town in Dayton, Nevada. Watch and answer for yourself.
The door here coming on. Whoa!
And this was only upon entering. If you crossed the threshold and this happened,
Coming on. Whoa!
would you take a step further? Me neither. Isn't nature beautiful? This video shows us it's actually terrifying. Redditor Sarah in Alaska shared this clip of the stunning Alaskan wilderness, but listen closely to the audio. She's wondering if viewers hear a voice, and if so, if you can tell what it's saying. Redditor Endangered Mind 2 suggests that the voice says, race back down, and Sarah agrees. As they just reached the summit, after listening repeatedly, I agree that this is what it sounds like, but the voice is not theirs. So whose is it? I don't have any answers, but I think I'd keep off this trail for a while, or never hike it again. Is there something in the attic? Redditor Air Icer suspects so. After hearing tapping on the attic wall, they meet it with Sage. And this is what they captured. What was that sound? I tend to agree with Titus that this sounds like a metallic spring bang, but that doesn't necessarily negate a paranormal presence. Perhaps the spirit's just jumping up and down on the bed. The Mulberry Rings in Dorchester, UK have a terrible history. YouTube team CVS Paranormal investigates this haunted place, and what they hear is disturbing.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to communicate with you. You could do something.
To me, it sounded like a mix of voices and pigs grunting in the darkness. Shortly after, they hear footsteps in the grass nearby.
Oh, what? Sure.
Then this creepy moan is heard.
If you are walking, did you hear that?
As one of the team feels something touch her head, children's laughter is heard in the background.
So like something just touched my head.
They hear a rustling in the trees that they don't believe is the wind.
Like coming from over there just now. In the trees. Are you over by the trees? You hear it?
It does look like there's a breeze though, and it could just be an animal settling, but this next noise does not sound natural.
What was that? I don't know.
And then again, they hear footsteps.
What? Yeah.
Is something stalking them in the darkness? The humming they hear suggests so.
Oh, it's really going now.
While I don't hear the humming sound in the end myself, I can hear all of the other unsettling noises in this clip. To me, the most disturbing part was the pig grunting and voices heard in the very beginning.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to communicate with you. You could do something.
What do you think? Move over, Cujo. This real-life pet cemetery is even scarier than the book. Posted to YouTuber by Adventures with Christian in October of 2018. The uploader provides a bit of historical background to the scene of this haunting video. According to him, this unofficial pet cemetery in Boulder City is the most haunted in the world. Why? He writes, many people claim that there are mafia victims secretly buried there, other than the names on the headstones, which may have faded away. There is no record of the animals buried there. The YouTuber visits the pet cemetery at night, when it's at its creepiest. At the entrance is a sign noting that pet burials are prohibited there. According to him, the pet cemetery opened in 1931, located 20 miles from Vegas. It's potentially a mobster's paradise. In the 25-minute video, Christian explores the graveyard, looking for all elusive ghosts of animals and people alike. About 20 minutes in, he comes across a dugout grave. You can see the corner of a wooden coffin inside. About 22 minutes in, he hears something in the cemetery, although what it is isn't caught on camera.
What in the world? What? Jeez. Oh my god. Oh my god. What in the world? Oh. Okay, that's it. Oh my gosh, that's it, I'm done.
He says he's done and hightails it out of there. The camera then captures a hooded man walking past, right in the line of the flashlight, prompting him to really hurry. It's later revealed that the cameraman was just a character, but that doesn't make this place any less creepy. Currently, pets are laid to rest in this cemetery, including that of the famous film star dog Rin Tin Tin. If you'd like to lay flowers on his grave, this video is a cautionary tale. Don't do it at night. If you're planning on going ziplining soon, don't watch this video. Captured in Wales in the UK, this video was published to YouTube by Stephen Bromley in September of 2018. The clip reveals many adventurers preparing for their exhilarating ziplining trip, and the zipline does indeed look fun for a while. That is, until Bromley's GoPro captures him starting to slide backwards. Eventually, he gets stuck hundreds of feet above the ground. Bromley explains what happened in the comments, writing, I was at the time 14 stone, and when I went over the cliff edge, a sudden gust of wind came up and slowed me quite a bit. My brother said it was the size of my head that caught the wind. LOL. Bromley also advises all concerned not to let this video put you off ziplining. He said it was a blast and the staff were very professional returning him to safety. This door sounds like a witch, and I'm not even exaggerating. Would you be able to live in a house that made this noise? People in the comments are saying it's possessed or cursed. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying that if any part of my house even sounds remotely like this, I'm moving far away. This next video, made to raise awareness, is supposed to replicate voices in your head. Among the many visual and audio delusions is one in particular that really gets to me, a girl with no eyes who appears at random. The girl with no eyes is apparently very common and reported by many. The following scene is an example of how she usually comes to them, or rather for them.
She is here.
Nowhere is safe from the girl with no eyes, because once she is in your mind, there's nowhere to hide. This is what it's supposed to be like when she finds you. No one knows why so many people have reported seeing the exact same figure. Maybe it's a subconscious manifestation of a common fear we all have, or maybe it's some type of possession that's driving people to madness. If this video is just a simulation, then I can only imagine how terrifying the real thing must be face to face. There's an older man who's looking out the window at Jacob Hessler and his friend, and it's freaking them out how he keeps leaving the spot and coming back to stare some more.
He's looking over. He's looking over. And now he walks away.
Some people suggest that the old man is simply looking at them because they were looking at him, and that they should just leave him alone, but this scenario still requires the old man to look out of his window in the middle of the night to notice they were there in the first place, which is odd. Maybe they were being loud or something, but the way they keep their voices low makes me think they were probably being quiet the whole time. So as it stands, this is a mysterious exchange without words and without explanation. Mysterious, unexplained lights were recently sighted over Brazil, just north of Rio de Janeiro. The diagonal formation of strange lights stretches into the night sky and blinks in and out of sight. It's not a constellation because there are no stars in the sky. Just these strange, unexplained lights that slowly move to the right and glow a fierce red when the camera zooms in. As the camera moves across the city to show there are no stars, they see more strange lights in the sky. These ones closer to Earth, a large column of lights at 56 seconds that should not be there at all. It looks like it could be a building, but according to them it's not. More lights seem to drop and lower to the ground, but it's too far away to tell. When he zooms out, he is surprised to find most of the skylights are already gone. This happened on June 24th of 2020, and if you're wondering why I was never reported on the news, maybe it's because we were never supposed to find out. A paranormal explorer named Yash Sadiq brings us a ghost sighting all the way from Tamil Nadu, a large state in South India. This abandoned house has sat rotting for years until their investigation reveals the presence of something lurking within.
Hey, what is it?
A dark and mysterious figure watches them from the other side of a wall and then retreats. It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but look again and you'll see a small edit here at 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Hey!
It could be a camera glitch from Paranormal Energy. However, I think the real reason for this edit is because they didn't like the way it looked the first time and decided to record the scene again. Brian Wood is not home when somebody he doesn't know decides to enter his home in Belen, New Mexico. All he can do is watch helplessly as they violate his home, walking out with item after item of things he's worked hard for. Knowing the police are on the way gives Brian some relief, but it doesn't do much good when somebody enters the same room as your pets and you have no idea what they intend to do to them. The intruder doesn't seem to care about his cat. He's done this many times before and is so at ease that he makes a phone call. When he walks around a stranger's home, talking to someone about the items he's taking, while ransacking drawers and jacket pockets. By the time he's through, he's standing right in front of a security camera. He doesn't even seem fazed or worried about getting caught as he palms it and leaves. Cops arrived minutes too late, but he was caught the next day. He makes no attempt to conceal his face or fingerprints, so I'm not surprised. If Brian didn't have this creepy encounter recorded on live stream, it would have been a lot harder. To kick off this entry, we enter the medieval old town of Edinburgh. The storied history of Scotland's capital lends itself to some truly legendary hauntings. This video illustrates that no matter where you turn in Edinburgh, you may find yourself face to face with the paranormal. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Rocket League RL. Something frightening is caught on film in this normal everyday Edinburgh park. Even J.K. Rowling found ghostly inspiration in Edinburgh, citing the very real Greyfriars Kirkyard, where you will find some of her character names taken straight from the cemetery's very own tombstones. Needless to say, Edinburgh is the perfect scene for paranormal sightings, as this video goes to show, on the banks of a lake, across the jungle gym bars of a playground, a phantom woman appears to stand still as day turns to dusk. Apart from the ghastly image of this figure stood unmoving there, strange incoherent sounds are heard throughout the clip. Is this a case of Edinburgh's terrifying history come to life? Or are our eyes deceiving us? When you're driving home exhausted at the end of the long day, stay conscious and keep your eyes peeled. You might just see this. This supernatural clip was posted in April of 2020, claiming it's a real sighting on a haunted roadside. So let's take a look and see for ourselves. The clip shows someone driving down a dirt road in the near darkness. As they turn a corner, a dark figure barely visible can be seen crossing the path. On closer inspection, the figure looks long-limbed and big-eyed with a strangely shaped skull. It crosses slowly, before sitting down at the side of the road. If human, what is this strange behavior? If not, any theories as to what this creature might be? Whether paranormal or some earthly figure, running into this near dusk might be enough to end your life. This footage was taken by an American tourist who was visiting Romania. He was just walking around a local zoo on his own, checking out the sights when he hears about a new attraction that is unlike any of the others. He is ushered into a dark farmhouse along with some other curious observers. Almost immediately, the tone of the video changes from skeptical to serious. It's hard to say exactly how, but something just feels wrong all of a sudden. You can hear the villagers talking among themselves, excitedly as they push past. Farm animals are making noises as the American makes his way deeper inside. This section is very dark now, and even though the Romanians are speaking in a different language, you can tell that people are sounding worried and concerned as they come closer and closer to the main attraction. Finally, the American tourist sees it for himself. Sitting across from them on a straw floor is what appears to be a white humanoid creature with black eyes and a wide gap for a mouth. It makes a series of tortured gurgling sounds and then charges towards its cage as the video quickly ends. It's hard to tell if this is a real creature or a man in a suit because the lighting is very dim. At the same time, Romania is a very rural country, and anything could be lurking in the woods. Maybe someone really did capture this thing and drag it back to society to be gawked at by paying crowds. If this thing is real, then the poor humanoid sounds like it's been severely mistreated and probably needs help. Most people have home surveillance cameras installed for a security measure, just in case somebody attempts to break into their house late at night or an unwanted visitor shows up. But Helen Brookshaw's home surveillance camera captured something much more terrifying than a burglar. It captured an unwanted visitor, but not the kind you'd think or hope for. Focus your attention on the upper left side here. So let's count. 1, 2, 3 ghostly figures here. Not just one, not just two, but 3 in total. And they just seem to be moving in unison, sort of just back and forth in this circle here. And to add to this, it also looks like this happens at a graveyard because these appear to be tombstones. The people who own this surveillance system must live beside a graveyard. And that makes sense because the title of this video is Ghost on My CCTV in Graveyard Next Door. So the fact that not only did they capture 3 paranormal presences on camera, but the fact that this also happens at a graveyard, I think just adds to how bizarre and creepy of a situation this is. I can't even begin to imagine how creepy it would be to have your home so close to a nearby cemetery or graveyard, but that seems to be the case for Helen. What gives this video even more credibility is exactly that. The footage is filmed in a graveyard, which is obviously going to be populated with ghosts and paranormal entities, and in this particular video, it seems like there are at least 3 or maybe 4 of them moving around in a strange, almost glitchy manner. Who knows? Maybe these are the spirits of passed away people going to pay their other family members a visit. Do you think you could stick it out in an abandoned former asylum, and what if you were being watched when you got there? Published to YouTube by This Is Dan Bell in September of 2015. This Place of Nightmares is a hauntingly beautiful house of horrors. The stone building is hidden in an overgrown woods, and naturally Dan enters the basement first, wallpaper chipping from the wall. As he explores, Dan explains that he kept hearing noises throughout his exploration, which sounded like a person. He thinks a former patient returned to this building and was living there. Well, as a viewer, you're likely distracted by all the intricate details of this building, including its decorative tiles and molding, its stained glass sunroof and one stairwell, its fireplaces and chandeliers. You might miss this figure in the doorway. Dan himself only noticed when safely back home, watching the video back. The point in question occurs at around 7 minutes 5 seconds when he's turning a corner around a stairwell. There's an open door in a hallway beyond with light shining against the door, and a shadow is plainly visible. It moves as Dan turns to head up the stairs. Plenty of other strange things occurred during this visit, including Dan's battery popping, and what looked like red stains found on the tile floor in an upstairs room. That's probably the point where you should get the heck out of an abandoned building. I'm just glad Dan and his team made it out. A YouTuber named Joe Shoemaker is exploring an abandoned road on Elm Street in Ohio. At the end of this overgrown dirt road is supposed to be a notorious house with a long and haunted history. The road itself is ominously closed, and they have to break the rules just to get there. After driving for a while, their headlights barely manage to illuminate the dark and collapsing exterior of a house that looks more like a creepy old shack, rather than a place where any normal person would actually ever live. The front porch is an unpassable pile of broken boards and sharp wooden splinters, so John has to walk around the perimeter to find another way inside. The back entrance is a scratched up wooden door. John isn't even sure if someone still lives here or not, but he turns the rusted knob and stands in the door. The inside is barren and lacks insulation. A long ventilation duct runs completely exposed across the length of the wall. Pipes hang on strings for no reason. He hesitates for a moment and takes a single uneasy step inside. Nothing happens, so he takes another step and makes the mistake of letting down his guard.
That's over here.
Just when he feels safe, some sort of blue humanoid figure comes from the bottom of the screen and jumps him. I mean, this could just be one of his friends, but here's the thing. When you look closely at the creature that pops out in front of him, you'll see it only has a single misshapen eye. A watchman is sleeping in his chair at around 1 in the morning when a special visitor wakes him up with a racket. Published by Wokun High Official in March of 2022, the watchman enters the road and finds nothing. After zoning out again, something drops into his lap from the sky. Again, he looks for the culprit but finds nothing. Getting some more shut-eye, the motorcycle now starts to move on its own, and then the cane in his hands is kicked out from under him. Even dogs have the sense to beware of this spirit. Published by Scary Desk in January of 2022, a security camera captured 2 dogs in an alleyway, acting suspicious. The dogs are seen watching something as of yet unseen. They then start to move away down the alley, looking over their shoulders. That's when the camera captures this shadow figure moving down the alley. The figure is distorted at first, but then becomes more human in form as it moves down the pike. Still, the figure is not solid, but a semi-transparent shadow. Some in the comments think the video has been manipulated, while others say they've seen ghosts like this and believe the footage is authentic. Whatever the case, the dogs definitely see the figure, or sense that it's there. What do you think? I think something mysterious is going on here. If you heard an unexplainable spine-tingling sound, would you have the guts to go investigate?
It is that sound.
Published to YouTube by Jared McLean in February of 2019, he explains that he heard this terrifying noise outside at 2 in the morning. He said that the sound started out of nowhere and reminded him of a scary movie soundtrack. The noise seemed to be occurring a few blocks away, so he went to get dressed and drove over there to investigate. But the minute he went to leave, the sound ceased. Jared said he wondered if it was paranormal or some natural phenomenon. He asked for his fellow YouTubers to chime in with their theories. Some suggest it sounds like a badly tuned orchestra. Others say someone must have set off every car alarm at once. Still others believe it could be a train's brakes being applied on a nearby railroad track. And even more claim that they've heard the same sound themselves. Nash TV Guy put in his own 2 cents writing, "There are a ton of reports from all over the world of these strange sounds, with suggestions ranging from underground bases and drilling. What they all have in common is they're scary. At least we can all agree on that much. Any clue as to what this sound could be?" This video is believed to have happened sometime in 2001. A person is walking around what looks like to be an old basement when they think they notice something on the floor.
What the hell's that? Right. That on the floor. Right there.
The footage is too grainy to see, but I think he may have been looking at a shoe, or even the top of someone's head coming out from just behind the door. Suddenly, he looks up and sees some sort of white apparition glaring back at him with lifeless glowing eyes. I guess that it could just be someone who is dressed up, but there's something about his reaction that seems genuine. Some urban explorations go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly, and this is one of them. Published to YouTube by Chris Hopkins in June of 2020, while exploring an abandoned naval base on a cold, windy night. As soon as Chris and his crew walked into this building, they heard a loud bang right beside them. Still, they decided to explore the rest of the base, no harm done, until they were getting ready to leave. After walking through the woods, as they were squeezing through a hole in the fence to get to their car, they heard what Chris describes as a Bigfoot, or a ghost, chasing after them. He says it again sounded like it was right next to them. The demonic roar is heard at least 2 more times after they get through the fence. Chris says they were running so fast that his friend lost his phone in the escape. Of course, other than the creature with big feet, there are other theories. Some think the roar came from a wild pig or a goat man, and some agree that it does indeed sound demonic. Any other ideas? Those ones already have me terrified. A Canadian YouTube channel called The Soul Catcher suspects that this clown doll from Ontario feeds off the energy of the living, so they perform this experiment to see what paranormal activity they can catch on camera. Watch this and tell me if you think it's real or fake. The The clown's arm moves by itself as soon as the clock strikes 3 a.m. I suppose it wouldn't be too hard to set a clock to 2:59. Wait a minute, and then move the clown's arm with some fishing wire. So while this doesn't completely prove the doll is possessed, it's definitely strange. In this second experiment, the YouTuber removes the haunted clown doll's hat and places it on his knee. After 20 minutes, this happens. It looks like the clown is reaching for his hat. However, his arms sound heavy enough that it could have been positioned in such a way to fall over time. The YouTuber wants to know why the other arm didn't fall, and to answer his question, I think it's been positioned so that the hand is more in the middle. So while these two experiments are not conclusive, that he may have had a haunted doll on his hands, and I encourage you to check out the rest of his experiments on his channel. Chris Hopkins goes exploring a haunted mental asylum close to 3 a.m. called Forest Haven. As the name implies, they have to cut through a forest on foot to get there, and that's when their troubles begin.
That was somebody.
We're walking down the trail. We just heard someone right over there.
Chris turns on his flashlight and soon sees a mysterious light in return. They play flashlight tag for a while until they discover a group of other people who, while friendly, claim to be ghost hunters on a quote-unquote another mission.
Yo, we just met up with these guys.
Hey.
Yo, these were some of the guys we were in here.
Actual ghost hunters, but we're on another mission right now.
They don't think much of the comment and join together to go exploring the abandoned mental hospital. As they get to talking, the strangers kneel down and show what their special mission really is: to take copper from wires and sell it for money. That's when it occurs to them that they are around some shady people in an abandoned building who have sharp instruments and are looking for valuable equipment, like their expensive cameras. Thinking fast, Chris walks back to get his friends.
Dude, come out here and listen to all these birds. Listen to all these birds.
Yeah.
They don't say a word and awkwardly walk away, which is the right choice. Who knows what would have happened to them if they stayed around? A person thinks they see something strange dash in front of their car late at night on a dark road. A playback of the tape has their suspicions confirmed by a totally bizarre dash cam encounter caught on video. A fleeting figure standing under a street lamp runs out and disappears way too fast to be a human. He claims this video is unexplainable paranormal evidence, but I suspect it might simply be a trick of the light, not exactly a lens flare per se, because there's no sunlight to reflect. Or maybe that is the right term, but you know what I mean. Basically a ray of light bending towards him to create the illusion of a phantom ghost. So while there is definitely a light anomaly, I'm not exactly sure it's paranormal. Tell me what you think he's caught on tape, because it might be a reflection and nothing more. Creepy videos don't get much scarier than the creature caught lurking around Anton Meyer's house. No, his house is not haunted, at least not in the traditional sense, but this scary moment will definitely haunt him for the rest of his days in South Africa. The animal control expert needs to move the snake into a cylinder containment unit on the floor, but as more and more of the creature stretches forth, I don't think it will fit. I wanted to know if this is a snouted cobra like he says it is. If so, these snakes are highly venomous and probably the absolute last species you'd want in your home, let alone in such an intimate area. Oh, and by the way, according to the description of this video, the handler accidentally lost his grip and the snake made the watery retreat back to where it came from. Hopefully it doesn't make a second appearance when they least expect it, but since cobras tend to be territorial during certain parts of the year, it's likely to return at some point. Thomas Hayes has been hearing scary loud sounds lately, strange scratching noises coming from inside of the wall, right next to where he sleeps at night. Anxiety mixes with fear as he dismantles the electric socket to investigate what's gone wrong behind the walls. And let me tell you, the source of the scary sounds is beyond creepy. He tries not to scream as he finds the wall is filled with an endless number of fried insects. roaches to be exact, and look, at 30 seconds he absent-mindedly flicks one off with his finger. That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting, and certainly not what I would have done, but I guess he was shocked at the time. Speaking of, I can't help but wonder how safe it is to prod around an electrical socket with a screwdriver in the first place. I know he probably turned the power off, but I feel like it could still hold a charge. Someone tell me in the comments. When somebody finds a spider in their home, some people would swat it on the spot with the nearest object, while others would try to find some way to let it go outside. Then there are a small percentage who would grab a camera and let the spider crawl all over them, like Feo3 here.
Ooh yeah. I got a spider crawling on me.
He never intended for the arachnid to take a detour across his throat and then stamp its way across his face. He manages to stay calm and only has one thing to ask.
And it's crawling on my face, isn't it?
Why, yes it is. Right towards your ear hole, unfortunately. Thinking fast, he tries to divert the spider away from his ear, but ends up encouraging it to almost burrow straight inside. He is so lucky that the spider decides not to do that, because that would have been a horrible trip to the hospital for sure. Not that having a spider in your hair is any consolation prize, but you get what I mean. Can you escape this escape room ghost? YouTube team Ghost Club Paranormal and friends are investigating a Los Angeles-based escape room called The Basement that's been experiencing some serious paranormal activity. Just as Jade is introducing the group, a loud bang resounds in the distance.
Whoa, what was that again?
Hello? Hello?
The team later finds a doll in the middle of the room that none of them saw there before.
Also, I didn't know.
Wait, what? What?
You know what? That's the first thing I looked at.
Wait, it wasn't there.
I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I looked at that. That's the first thing I noticed.
There's supposed to be in there.
Later, they hear a noise above them.
Whoa. I'm so on edge.
I know, me too. I feel like I'm in like a real life Scooby-Doo scenario now.
Meanwhile, Kelsey Davies and her team capture an EVP on camera in the next room.
Over here.
Oh.
And later, both Kelsey and Jade see the same entity.
I swear to when we came out, I thought I saw like the back of somebody's...
Yeah, like running.
No, I swear to God, I thought I saw the back of somebody's leg, just like that, right behind the door.
Was it black, like a shadow?
Yeah, it was literally...
Is someone in here playing around with them? Or is there truly something paranormal in this escape room? Whatever's happening in this scary place, I honestly hope they can escape from it. This Aztec wind instrument has been terrifying people for hundreds of years, and you're about to be next. The noise is supposed to replicate your final screams, and is even said to haunt your dreams. Listen to this and tell me how stressed out it makes you, if at all. Here it is again, this time in a professional recording studio to get the full effect. I definitely can hear how this sounds like someone screaming for their life. Can you? This 2009 video is some of the earliest and most bizarre evidence of the weird and mysterious lights at the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, which is considered a hotbed of paranormal activity all around. Perfect spheres of lights like this one often are sighted in the sky, or sometimes on the ground. Strange lights that have never been explained. The mysterious lights don't look like anything made by a person because they are almost as tall as a tree and extremely wide, much bigger than even the largest of spotlights. This next video, taken by the uploader's brother shortly after spending a day at the Skinwalker Ranch, shows an object moving on its own in their basement.
Swinging for 15 minutes now.
More unexplained lights have been haunting his basement. Did something paranormal follow them home? Some folks are good narrators getting carried away by their own storytelling. This one should have noticed how true her story was. This video was originally posted to TikTok by Briar May. In the video, Briar is telling a creepy story while sitting on her bed, as she describes how her stepsister used to wait under her bed and grab her ankles. The camera pans back to capture her bedroom door slamming closed at the most inopportune moment, heightening the fear of the horror story. But don't be distracted by the sounds. Look under the bed. Her room is not empty after all. Is that Briar's stepsister? Or are her ankles about to be grabbed by the true blue monster under the bed? This is a horror story come to life. I just hope everybody was alright. A woman by the name of Cecilia Carasso in Chile strode past the reception desk at a law office in 2015 when she was attacked by something invisible. As you watch the CCTV video, Cecilia is strolling with a young woman towards the reception desk when she reportedly felt something push her with such force that it caused her to fall backwards hard. You can see Cecilia chatting with the woman and gesturing at something when suddenly, out of nowhere, she falls flat on her back. She doesn't just slip, she absolutely appears as though she was pushed. I wasn't aware of anyone in front of me as I passed the reception desk talking to a girl, and as I looked up towards the receptionist, I suddenly felt 2 pairs of hands shove me over, Cecilia said. She later added, I hit the floor, and when I looked up, I couldn't see anybody, and I thought they must have run off. When Cecilia asked the receptionist who had pushed her, she was told that nobody had. Cecilia didn't believe the receptionist until she was shown footage of the incident. After seeing it, she was sure that she had been the victim of a ghost attack, since there was absolutely nobody around her. Cecilia's doctors reported that her injuries were consistent with a fall, but that she'd also received a large blow to the head, which may have caused confusion about what she felt and about her injuries, but that doesn't explain what happened in this creepy CCTV footage. A woman calls into a show to talk about spiritual possession. She is in the middle of her story when suddenly something grabs hold of her mid-sentence and takes over.
Also,
Did anyone else hear a really deep voice say something at the end of that clip? Anyway, she regains her composure and manages to speak a few more sentences. She says that she has been cursed by somebody who is very powerful, but it is hard to understand her because she is clearly upset. The host is trying to get some more information when suddenly the spirit appears to take over once again.
Who created you and why? Huh? To speak or to go to court?
The poor woman's condition just seems to be getting worse and worse as the conversation carries on. Finally, the host sees that there is little reason to continue speaking with her and hangs up.
Also, when people
Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah wa salatu wa salam.
What happened to her afterwards is anyone's guess. It's difficult to tell if this video is real without being able to see the caller's face. The full clip is about 7 minutes long, and most of it does not make much sense because of her panic. I guess it could be a fake call, or maybe the caller is on something. Otherwise, I think she could really be possessed. This soccer match appears to be interrupted by a creature from another dimension. One team is about to go for a penalty kick when a strange white figure literally runs through everyone in the crowd without slowing down.
Se viene el tiro libre. Atención. Mañana Ferreira, ¿lo dejarán? Ferreira creo,
I heard that this kind of effect could be a camera malfunction. But since everyone on the field is standing still, then I don't understand how this kind of glitch can happen. If someone has an explanation for this situation, then please let me know, because this definitely looks like it could be some sort of transparent creature to me. A lot of people meditate to relax, but using breathing techniques to master the elements of nature is where the topic takes a strange and mysterious twist, bordering on the supernatural. The ability to manipulate one's surroundings in such a way is done using an energy called chi. This is one such practitioner, and water is his element of choice. Somehow he is able to make the liquid rise to the surface in a way that follows the energy guided by his hand. Soon he has created a bumpy surface full of individual droplets. He releases his hold, and with a wave of his hand, the water returns to normal. So this video is really mysterious. There doesn't appear to be anything in the water to make it do this. At least nothing I can see. I feel like he could have put metal shavings or something in the water, and then had someone with a magnet underneath create this effect. Can someone who knows more about science tell me if I'm on the right track? Otherwise, this is about as strange and mysterious as it gets. Strange noises have been happening in Peter's house since he moved in 2 weeks ago. Published in December of 2009, Peter Yan TV writes, "It happened again last night, and I was brave enough to capture this on tape." Loud clashing occurs as Peter turns on his camera in a dark hallway. He flicks on the light and looks downstairs. The sound stops. He loudly walks down the wooden stairs, likely to scare whoever or whatever is there. He finds nothing in the room downstairs, at least nothing that we can see. When he heads back upstairs, he flicks off the light and heads back into his room. He hears something slam downstairs, and then what sounds like slow footsteps up the stairs. He waits in fear, and they just keep coming, louder and louder. And then a shoe is thrown at him from out of the darkness. When he runs forward, there's nothing on the stairs or in the hallway. As many in the comments say, this dude should be leaving every light in the house on. These books appear to be flying off the shelf all by themselves at an Alamo gift shop after hours.
What are you receiving?
It's hard to tell if they were truly pulled out by a ghost, or if someone was just pushing them from the other side of the shelf and playing a prank. We'll never know for sure, but if this were to happen anywhere in Texas, then a historical site like the Alamo would be a very likely location. ColtsFan210 posted the creepiest doorbell camera video ever on r/paranormal Reddit with one simple question. Why does this chair start rocking, he writes, adding that his brother gets quite scared when he turns around. I don't see anyone hiding behind the chair, but it's hard to tell because there's something in front of the chair and things look blurry. ColtsFan210 has no idea why the doorbell video is compressed and pixelated. It has never looked that way before or since, only this one time. Paranormal interference from a spirit in the chair could be one reason why. Okay, so there's this tech channel from Singapore called Computer Guys, and one of their videos is beyond creepy. Weird things are continuously caught on tape in one of the most unlikely places to ever become haunted, a bare, nondescript server room. No one is seen on 2 different security cams, and yet the door opens by itself. A ghost did it, they later say. I guess they were having technical problems shortly afterwards, because IT workers come into the room to run some programs and check wires. No sooner do they leave does the paranormal activity return. As the minutes pass, the laptop flips back open right before an IT worker walks in to check some things. Everything looks fine, nothing weird, and then things get scary in a paranormal way. A sighting of a ghost on the floor is caught on camera, which is then knocked over. Some paranormal investigators will tell you that electricity attracts the supernatural, so it makes sense that a ghost would haunt a high-voltage server room if that were true. With that said, the whispering at the end does seem a little over the top to be real, and makes me wonder if this scary ghost sighting video is legitimate. Solo Ambush goes to a haunted shack that's been abandoned in the jungle. The place is haunted by 2 evil shamans, conjoined twins connected at the hip. Solo Ambush is ready to live up to his reputation and confront them both on live stream. He finds odd evidence in the pages of an old book that could be paranormal incantations of some kind. Tell me what he says here, and anything you can about what's written in the book.
So ini adalah salah satu daripadanya. Okay, yang berbahasa ASEAN. Aku akan bawa balik buku ini ya.
I'm especially interested in what this page says. It has a picture of the world on it and a list. He stares at this page for the longest of all. For some reason, he lights 5 candles in the attic and says something to the shaman.
Okay, sila keluar. Aku cabar segala jin, kadam, pesuruh, dukun.
Maybe it has to do with what he just read. Whatever he recites, it works. Notice how the shadows start moving when the noise begins, and how they stop moving when the noise ends. Final analysis: these scary moments caught on livestream video are paranormal and creepy beyond belief. It's like the ghost is walking right up and standing over him. It looks like Solo Ambush is the one getting ambushed this time. These 2 motorists are driving around in the UK when one of them looks up in the sky and pulls over. They stare at the clouds for about 15 seconds and nothing happens. Then, just when they are about to give up, an unknown object appears immediately in front of them. It drifts into a cloud and some kind of electric reaction happens. Lightning goes off and then a weird semi-transparent rectangular object floats to the ground. The video is very low quality, so either this was taken a long time ago with a bad camera, or else it was probably edited. Either way, I must find out more about what was in that sky. Okay, think of this scary video as a what would you do type situation. A woman named Letitia Patterson is walking back to her car when a strange man who is acting beyond creepy in my opinion begins to follow her. She lets him know that he's caught on camera, and the video gets more outrageous from there.
Hold on, I'm about to record you because If something happened to me, they gonna have you on camera.
That's right.
Somebody come get their family member.
That's right.
Following me.
I think capturing his weird behavior on tape is the right move, but showing him where she parked is not the safest decision. She could have walked away to get help, but I guess she felt like she was going to take control of the scary moment, and so she overcomes her fears and confronts the stranger, getting more bizarre video on camera for us to analyze.
Yep, bye. You're not getting in my car.
The strange man attempts to get her to laugh it off, playing off his aggression as harmless flirting, but he is not respecting her boundaries, which to me is beyond creepy, and a major warning sign that she should get away fast. He follows around her car for a bit, and then he's standing by her door, when the creepy encounter takes another bizarre turn.
I don't even know you.
Hey, delete that camera. I'll grab that phone from you. Break.
Look.
Take that on camera.
Well, can you get away from my car?
Yeah, but delete that recording.
I'll delete it as soon as I see you start walking that way.
But the mysterious man walks towards her instead, closer than ever as you can see at 1 minute and 27 seconds, and she realizes by now that he isn't going away, and that this scary moment could escalate if she doesn't get help.
Hey, y'all call 911. This guy just followed me around the store.
I think asking a stranger to call 911 was the right decision, because he could have taken the phone out of her hands if she stopped recording him. The camera is a good deterrent, and also she needs to continue to record evidence. Police investigators haven't found him yet as far as I know, but check this part out. I think he says his name here at 7 seconds. She's talking at the same time, but tell me if you can understand what he says.
They gonna have you on camera. Somebody come get their family member.
At least one other woman claims to have had a similar creepy experience with a scary stranger, so the evidence seems to suggest that he could be terrifying people just for fun. Freaky, right? What are these bright lights in the sky? The lights start to appear one by one.
On a deux autres encore de nouvelles. Qu'est-ce que ça va faire? On ne sait pas. Ils sont plus proches, là.
C'est beaucoup plus à gauche. Troisième.
Trois. Il y en a trois. Tiens, regarde, c'est pas moi qui les invente. 4.
C'est en formation, ça.
There's no information attached to this video about where it was filmed, but the clip continues for 1.5 minutes without the lights changing much in position. They do start to shift a little toward the end though.
Je peux pas dire, là, moi je peux pas les grandir plus que ça, là. Mais moi je sais que ça se rapproche parce que les lumières sont plus, on voit pas sur la vidéo, là, mais les lumières sont plus... Ça, hein?
Ça bouge pas, avec les vents dehors.
Ouais, ça bouge pas, rien.
Are these lights on singular aircrafts, or are they arranged on one larger aircraft? They appear to me to be individual aircrafts flying in formation, or rather hovering, but apart from unidentified flying objects, I have no clue what they might be. Do you? Can you feel the evil in this house of satanic worship? YouTuber Chris L. Luna can. She and Laura Rivas enter to see what evil it holds. While touring the place, they find a bottle of black magic liquid inside.
Mira los espíritus. ¿Oíste? Sí.
As they continue, something appears to confront Chris L.
¡Ay!
No, estoy serio.
Cuidado, ¿sí lo puedo agarrar?
Laura sprays what I assume is an antidote on her, and they continue on. In another room, they spot a portal drawn on the wall and hear laughter.
Las risas. ¡Cállate! Se están riendo, ve afuera. Se empezó a mover. Se están riendo de nosotros, Laura. Ve cómo se está moviendo.
Later, they again hear laughter.
Ay, Dios mío. ¿Te vas a reír de mí por lo que voy a hacer?
Noting that all the windows are closed, they find a lifeless bird on the floor.
Están las ventanas cerradas, en verdad. Vean cómo está todo cerrado. ¿Cómo llegó aquí? ¿Cómo llegó aquí?
Está fresco.
La maldad. ¿Qué hay en esto?
Is this a remnant of a satanic ritual performed here? I think it is, and if that's the case, they should get out pronto. This offering looks fresh. Posted to the r/chills narrator subreddit, Redditor the cheese is moist writes, if I'm tripping then don't come at me in the comments, but is that star changing colors? In the video he zooms in on a star in the distance. The closer the zoom, the more clear it is that the star is rapidly changing colors. I've never seen a star ever do this before. Is it a satellite? Or is there something more nefarious at play here? This driveway ghost likes to mess around. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in March of 2021. CCTV footage caught something scary and mysterious in this driveway. The video shows a rock flung or kicked onto the driveway from something off camera. A moment later, a ball bounces into view from a space to the side of the drive. It rolls around for a moment before coming to a standstill. Then a chair scrapes forward and is leaning off of the step back and forth before being flung forward onto the drive. Sounds are heard out of sight, followed by a small footstool thrown into view from the same storage space. A strange shadow is seen on the back wall, floating in the air. It moves into frame and hovers before retreating back again. Then a fuller shadow figure makes its way into the picture. Rather, it looks like a strange creature crouched down is casting a large shadow against the wall. The floating figure appears again higher up on the wall. Where these mysterious beings causing the poltergeist activity? I guess we'll never know for sure. Would you rather see a ghost reflected or see one solidly in front of you? Posted on TikTok by RickyLie27. Ricky is wandering through what looks like a massage parlor when something unexpected appears over his shoulder. The TikToker is talking to the camera as he guides viewers through, and doesn't even seem to notice this creepy figure that appears in the window behind him. A woman with long dark hair dressed in white lurks there. It's not clear if the woman is standing outside beyond the window, or if this is a reflection of the woman standing inside. I kind of hope it's the former, because if not, she could be right over your shoulder. Something about railroad tracks at night is eerily haunting, and these creepy tracks are no exception. Published by Panic Attack Scary Videos in October of 2014. This scary video might make you have a panic attack. Located in Redo, Texas, these old-timey railroad tracks have a terrible history. According to urban legend, a railroad worker let a train take his life on these tracks a very long time ago, and ever since his ghost has been seen on occasion around midnight, hovering over the bridge carrying a lantern. The boys here are interested in seeing if the tales are true. After being chaotically through the woods by a wild boar, they fall onto the tracks. That's when they see it. A mysterious light is shining at a distance on the bridge, just as the urban legend said it would. It's too far away to be distinct. They say it looks like a ball of light, and they walk toward it. But as they approach, after a while it goes out, leaving them in darkness. Was it the railway man of legend? I guess we're left in the dark about that too. Some poltergeists are gentle, others are vicious. Published by Find Ghost in November of 2021. The uploader of this video writes, imagine coming home to this. Security footage captures a large and heavy looking sofa flip forward onto its face unexpectedly. A moment later, a piece of glass is catapulted from a display in the corner. The glass launches across the room and hits a wall. Then something seems to be horseplaying with the camera itself. It is rolled around onto the floor, while yet another object appears to be on its way to falling over on it. The scary video cuts out before the object does, but I wonder what else this family came home to. Matt Petrez thinks this dark and empty hotel elevator looks strange, but he doesn't want to take the stairwell, so he gets on anyway. It's a long and creepy ride in total darkness that does not end well. Matt knows he has made a mistake as soon as the doors shut, but it's too late to do anything other than stare at the numeric red panel as it counts down the floors. Then on the 5th floor this happens. Matt claims the elevator stopped moving and he was stuck for a long time. I guess he could have just covered the camera with his hands and made this story up, or maybe something bad really did happen on the 5th floor to cause this potentially paranormal elevator ride. Mark Bennick from the Netherlands has caught what he calls a real scary ghost video on tape, paranormal evidence that he claims is the best, most undeniable proof of the other side. He and a friend named Luke go exploring an abandoned farmhouse that's beyond creepy even in broad daylight. The inside feels off and continues to give them every impression that the place is haunted. Eventually they come across basement steps leading deeper inside. Going down them is a big mistake.
Appel. Gaat het? Leer. Holy. Dit is zo extreem erg.
He finds Luke hunched over, gasping for breath, and soon he is not feeling too good himself.
Dit is zo extreem erg.
The investigation ends early. Something got them down there, but they don't know what. They suspect this is the best paranormal evidence ever recorded, but it probably has to do more with being in an abandoned basement with not so good air quality. To further prove my point, Luke, who is down there slightly longer, probably breathed in more tainted air and seemed to have gotten the worst of it out of them both. Or maybe that's also the way it worked with paranormal energy too. We'll never know for sure. The point is, exploring abandoned houses is more risky than you'd think for many reasons, aside from the paranormal, so I would never recommend doing it yourself. Late night CCTV footage has caught a possibly real ghost sighting at this YouTuber's place of work. Out of the shadows emerges a mysterious pale apparition that seems to briefly look into the room as it walks back into the shadows. It wears a white dress with an extra small waist that was popular during the 1800s. The uploader later found out this place used to be an old Victorian orphanage, so the look of the ghost does coincide with the history of the haunted building. Whether or not you believe him will determine how eerie this footage is. I believe him though. A YouTuber named MBJ Report has a pest in his yard that has been bothering his dogs, so he decides to stick a garden hose down into the ground and flood it out of its den. Now they are waiting with a net to catch the pest and dispose of it if necessary. It isn't long before he sees two glowing eyes appear out of a second hole in the distance. This appears to be no ordinary pest, but rather a monster instead.
It's something. I don't know what that is.
It remains frozen in the beam of the flashlight for a while, hoping that he will leave it alone. Then the creature drops back into the ground below with a shriek. MBJ Report has had enough and decides to pull the creature up by its tail. He pulls back a red hand with a deep cut, which I unfortunately can't show here, and the video ends. I notice that the creature doesn't really move its limbs at all, and possibly looks like a toy, though I can be wrong. Even still, that doesn't explain the glowing red eyes though. So if you think you can tell if this is fake or real, then be sure to tell me how you know. An investigator from the Liberty Independent Ghost Hunters of Texas is exploring the haunted old Lavaca jail when they capture some scary stuff happening right in front of their camera.
Are you for real?
A paranormal mist fills the room, and it's not his breath because it comes from off to the side, not in front of him. Also, at 48 seconds the colors dim and the camera blurs as if trying to focus on a ghostly presence. The Texas ghost hunter is freaked out and doesn't stick around to see what comes after the paranormal mist and ghost orbs. I've seen a lot of paranormal investigations before, and something about this one looks real. I think he was really scared and had a genuine paranormal experience. Diane thinks she has caught a ghost on video crossing her living room around 3 a.m. The ghost is a woman with long hair whose back is turned. For months, Diane has been feeling something paranormal in her house, and if you look closely, you'll see her cat Noah wake up and look to where the ghost of a weird woman just walked by. There are no other paranormal videos on Diane's channel at all. The rest is 3 years of content about a niche hobby that has nothing to do with the spirit world, which makes me think it could be a real paranormal incident. With that said, I found another video that shows she roughly has the same hair length as the woman who says she was a ghost, so I'm on the fence with this one. Why won't the ghost of this house cross over? YouTuber Eugene from Dark Mystic is here to find out. One of his Steadicams first observes the presence of something here. Soon Eugene hears it himself. Another Steadicam captures mysterious noises in another room, and it appears that something is moving. Later, that something falls to the floor. In that same room, a shadow shifts across the back hallway. Eugene is then given orders by the resident ghost.
Молчи. Не ори.
Eugene doesn't seem to be taking the spirit seriously, but I wouldn't be able to keep quiet either. I'd definitely scream. This doll is reputed to make you crazy, and Dima is spending 3 days alone with it. Let's see what happens. First, Dima introduces viewers to the doll.
Время. Как мне сказали, чтобы освободить ее, надо, соответственно, разбить стекло.
It doesn't take long for things to unravel. At around 3 a.m. this happens. That sounded like a footstep. For some reason, Dima decides to visit the doll, and he soon regrets it.
Stop. Stop, у нее...
I mean, wouldn't you?
Так, мать, давай-ка ты... Она прям на меня смотрит, я весь в мурашках.
Those eyes look real. Are they? Soon Dima loses his pulse.
Что происходит? Что происходит, блядь? Блядь, что происходит? Ой, что случилось? Почему у меня пульс 0?
Okay, that was just an accident, but is this?
Что это такое? Что это такое? Что это такое? Что это такое?
What are these unexplained noises? And this one...
Что за звук?
As the doll is taken over Dima's bed, its presence moves things in his room. Later, he discovers the doll's little shoe on the floor.
Ребята, это же не вышло.
How did it end up there? Has she been wandering around while he sleeps? One of the security cameras then moves on its own. Was it just positioned poorly, or is this the possessed doll's work as well? I think it probably is the maleficent spirit at play. This doll is 100% possessed, and in my opinion, its demon is now on the loose in Dima's house. He shouldn't have ever let her in. Is this ER haunted by the dearly departed? TikToker Lucy Trevelyan thinks so. They've posted this security camera footage as proof. Watch the curtain in the background.
He's laying on the stuffed thing all over your hardly, but that's Vermont haunted. What the?
It blows around, moving as though someone touched it. According to the TikToker, this happened at around 5 in the morning. Nobody was there, and there are no air vents near the curtain.
When he's laying on the stuffed thing all over your hardly, the language, but that's Vermont haunted, and there's no.
Judging by everyone's reaction, this is an anomaly. If we are to trust the TikToker that no air vents might have caused this, I think it's safe to say that the spirits did. After all, hospitals are regular havens of lost souls. While touring this haunted home, YouTuber Dimitri from A Sip of Fear finds that devilry is at play. First he hears it. Later, after setting up some cameras, his work is thrown to the ground.
Что происходит и все.
It seems to me that the devil does not wish to be captured on camera, but he has no say in the matter. If I were Dimitri, I'd be getting out of there ASAP. YouTubers Lainey and Ben regularly document the paranormal activity in their Uber haunted home. As they're taking questions from their subscribers, some of the activity happens right behind them.
Says, does it feel like a good or a bad spirit, and what energy does it give off? I think there's no threats.
Nah, like, it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think, if anything, it might be like a relative, because, like, it's not harmful to us, so it's not like...
First, they notice the paper towel roll.
Like, it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't...
Lainey seems to hear it move. She looks over her shoulder but doesn't quite catch it in action.
So I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think, if anything, it might be like a relative.
Then the cupboard door pops open for a second.
To us, so it's not, like, bad in that...
Watching the camera, Lainey sees the activity behind her this time. I believe Lainey and Ben's home is haunted without question. They have a lot of evidence to back them. I just don't know how they can live with this. YouTubers Ivnu Fozzie encountered an unknown creature in the middle of the forest. Let's see if we can identify it.
Kita terlalu berisik kayaknya lu.
Astagfirullah. Quick.
It's too dark to really tell what the creature is, and the creature itself is shadow-like. But you can see its movements toward them. I really have no idea what this thing might be, but their reaction to it makes me think it could be dangerous. In a creepy abandoned place, YouTuber Alberto Del Arco captures a passing ghost on camera. First, they hear a distant scream.
¿Oíste?
Como un grito de una niña.
Sí, sí lo oíste. Muy agudo, muy agudo.
Y se escucha.
Sí.
Then they spy this dark figure at the end of a corridor. While the figure is too far away and indistinct to definitely confirm that it's a ghost, you can see that it does move. Someone is there with them, ghost or living being. I wouldn't stick around to find out. The team at Dark Arts TV heads into this haunted home to dial up their paranormal investigation, and it delivers. In one room, they find two curious things.
What? What's that? See, that's too weird. Like, the clock's still going, bro.
I'm kind of curious about that, though. Why is it a trapdoor?
Oh, yeah.
Then they hear something.
Was that in the room or upstairs?
I don't know. I don't know if it was upstairs, like the floorboards creaking. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? It went shh, shh.
They find a mysterious object in the wall.
It's that. What's it there?
What is it? It's like white. What? Bro, what is that?
It looks like a bone, and they think someone's playing a trick on them.
This feels like an absolute piss take.
It does, doesn't it?
It feels like someone's taking the piss out of us.
As if someone knows we're coming here.
What was that bang downstairs? Real quick. Take it with you. Just, I know, but take it with you.
The mystery continues. When they investigate the bang they hear upstairs, they find something unusual.
No! That's the bang we heard. That's the bang. We heard that bang upstairs, bro. That's it. How weird is this?
What is on that disc? Soon they sense something in the kitchen with them.
Was you murdered? Right there.
Right there.
A noise right there.
Whoa. Something moved up there, bro. Do you see it?
Later, as they're trying to communicate with the spirits, something butts in.
Are you the woman? Bro, what the f*** this man? What the f*** man? What the f*** is that?
After all that, this is what sends them running.
This is something project. What the f***? Get the f*** out of here, bro. Get out of here quick.
While many in the comments believe this video is staged, at least some of it seems real to me. The strange sounds and the movement of the chair at the end convinces me that there's something more to this home. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste? Voy adentro. ¿Fue adentro? Verga, gente. No mames, se oyó aquí en corto. Ya, te fue ahí. Si fue adentro, fue adentro. Oh, chicos, a tu madre. A la verga, vete a la verga. ¿Qué pendejo? Cállate, pendejo.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview.
Está la hora. No mames. Bueno, ¿dónde vas? ¿Qué pedo? No mames. No mames, güey. No madre, güey. Acá estoy con mamada, güey. Espérate, tú.
Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. While exploring this haunted house, the YouTube team from Dark Arts TV is being followed.
Come into this room.
Footsteps coming in.
Come into the room. Come on, you.
They hear the sound of a voice, either a woman's voice or a baby's.
Joy, it sounded to me that it's like either baby sound.
Later in another room, something is moving next door.
No. was moved in there. Where do you want us to go to?
In yet another room, they hear more footsteps and a woman's voice again.
There.
They continue their investigation and hear something walking across glass in a different room.
Trace energy, make a loud sound. Or can you come down this corridor as fast as possible? Walk down it, into this room.
I heard it too, and I also hear a growl here, which the team doesn't appear to hear in the moment.
Baby.
Judging by all this evidence, there's clearly something malevolent in this building, and it seems to be stalking them. I only hope they can shake whatever it is off when they leave this place. Max from YouTube channel Paranormal Point is investigating the so-called Swamp of the Dead in this scary video. It leads him into dark places. As he continues to delve deeper into the swamp, he gets readings on his device, but that's not all. The device continues to be triggered, particularly by this large tree. Then he appears to see something in the darkness. It's too dark to make out with the human eye, but Max retreats. When he breaks out the spirit box to interview the spirit has questions of her own.
Чтобы помочь тебе покинуть наш мир.
She tells him something ominous.
Они заберут тебя.
Who is he, and who are they, and where will they take him? If I were Max, I wouldn't follow. If this isn't a haunted house noise, it should be. Redditor Full Caregiver 5287 posted his Wise security camera footage to Reddit, wondering if anyone had theories as to what this noise is. As you can see by the timestamp, the noise occurred at around 3 in the morning, but he writes in the comments that it happens randomly every so often, and this isn't the only creepy thing going on in their home. In another post, the Redditor shares this footage of his daughter having a panic attack in the middle of the night. His daughter said she saw a shadow person in her room. While the first piece of footage can be explained away as old pipes screaming, accompanied by the second clip, it's harder to deny that there might be something darker going on here. Did the daughter see a shadow figure? Or was she woken by whatever is screaming? Bright lights can play tricks on you, but this is not a trick. Published by Lane Ghost Hunter in August of 2011, this scary phantom was captured on camera in a driveway. The driveway is dark at first, nothing there. When the car turns on its headlights, the woman holding the camera gasps. That's because she sees this creepy semi-transparent figure appear against the wall for a moment. After shaking in fear, the camera steadies, and the figure is gone. Do you see it, or is it just a figment of our collective imaginations? These ghost hunters become the hunted in this haunted ghost encounter. Published by Wo Cuyahoga Official in September of 2021, Assad and crew hunt for ghosts in this paranormal show, and they don't come up empty-handed. They start to hear noises in this haunted place, and then see a dark figure lurking just out of sight. As they continue in their search, a pile of bricks is pushed from one of the walls.
Oh, Lord.
Something is later rattling the doorway. And as they get closer, they hear a growl from behind them. After hearing something behind them again, one of the crew gets taken. When they race into the room, no one is there, but they see something flicker past while peering through a hole in the wall of the room. They later come across more substantial evidence that something has been stalking them all along. A figure is standing in one of the structure's many rooms. They back out and the figure is gone, but another appears, this one in a pink robe. They pursue her and later find another figure. Standing in the opposite direction, only this time the figure doesn't remain still. She moves backwards towards them in a terrifying manner. Would you survive this unholy terror, or would it be enough to scare you real good? I'd be getting out of that place as quickly as possible. Is this a real witch crawling toward her would-be victims? YouTuber Mangle Marassing thinks so. This old woman is captured creeping along a dirt road toward the camera in the middle of the night. Others are shouting at her, and she is shouting back. And her manner is truly upsetting. If she's not a witch, I do think she is something not of this world. I mean, just look at those eyes. Facebook user Greg Kopaz posted this video, captured at his friend's house who lives alone. Both men are firefighters, and they were at the station when his friend's phone alerted him to motion detected at his house. Let's see what the security cameras captured. Someone or something clearly crosses in the hallway. Let's see it again. Greg notes that his friend has heard strange noises in his home and has had his lights turn off and on. He also discovered a false wall in the home and a hidden room full of antiques. He has since moved out, although I wouldn't conclude 100% that this is paranormal. After seeing the security footage, I would definitely be worried about squatters having secret access. Who knows how many false walls this home hides. In northern Wales lies the house of the two sisters.
That others have dubbed the Two Sisters House. There isn't much history on this location that we could find online. The only information we have gathered were the photographs left inside the property along with...
YouTube team The Ouija Brothers explores this abandoned haunt in this scary video. First, they hear walking.
Are you walking?
No one's walking now.
Clearly still.
However, Steve's camera picked up no footsteps. Next, another disturbance is heard.
Knock for you and show. Chip.
Yeah, I can't see anything, huh?
But the sounds are not the only thing that's strange here. There's a feeling.
Like something was stood right next to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Where I am, yeah.
Where are you?
I didn't feel uncomfortable, but you know when you feel like there's someone by the side of you?
Their camera unfortunately doesn't capture the footsteps they hear.
I'm just in the hallway, but it's coming from this room.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard.
Alright, let's be quiet. Let's see if we can hear it.
But the spirit does seem to be responding via the K2 meter.
Towards me. I've heard you. Build the energy, use our energy, use what we've got left.
Is it one of the two sisters, or are they both playing tricks on them? I do get the feeling that they're enjoying taunting the Ouija brothers. This djinn is leading us into the fiery depths below. YouTuber Hassan Barbar encounters this terrifying djinn in an abandoned hut, and he believes it's here to trap him.
شواد يما بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
At first, it seems to be hiding from him.
هيو 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 هيو.
It stands guard behind the wall.
شوف والله هيو اخوان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
But then it lets out this terrifying sound.
يما بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه في الارض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم.
This is the creepiest game I've ever seen in my life. When Hassan goes to look for him, the creature has disappeared.
أنا كنت أصور فيه بس فجأة ما لقيتوش. بسم الله.
Where did the djinn go? I'm not sure, but I'd bet my life that we shouldn't follow. A second entry on this list explores Hill House, the most haunted house in Texas. This time, YouTuber Kelsey Davis, who is a psychic medium, feels the presence there.
I have chills right now. There's someone behind me. I think it's Toby.
I'm getting the chills. Toby.
And she hears it too.
Oh my Kelsey, it started running. Oh, it started running.
14?
Yes. It was loud. You heard his foot. It was like that.
As they're turning on the Spirit app, they hear another terrible bump.
Kelsey.
Later, a paranormal device goes off, as does a child's toy.
Where's that coming from?
It's upstairs.
It's Josh's room.
Get the out of here. No, this.
What? That is.
This.
What was that?
It's a toy.
That's Josh's room.
They head up to Josh's room to see what toy was triggered.
Hi, Joshua. What?
Something ran up again, ran at me.
Ran at you?
Yeah.
What's the sound?
Where's that coming from?
I think I've had enough of Hill House. I'm 100% positive that if I paid this place a visit, I'd leave with my pants brown. Blink and you might miss it. Shared by Redditor Dreadlock, this is one of the most compelling UAP videos captured by Homeland Security in Puerto Rico. The flying object is first seen traveling quickly over land. Keeping the object in its sights, the camera captures it as it dips down into the water, entering and exiting without seeming to lose any speed. After a time, it splits into two, each drifting away from the other. What is this thing? The experts can't even pin down what this thing is, so I don't think we'll ever know for sure. But yeah, it feels pretty extraterrestrial to me. YouTube team, the new reality paranormal is investigating a haunted general store, and inside they hear and see some unexplained things. First, as they enter, footsteps are heard.
Said wave. It just said wave.
And right after, a voice.
Okay. Said rat.
Yeah? Now you're calling names or what? Resorting to calling people names? Was that a voice?
What? I swear to that was a voice.
Is somebody in here? It seems like it to me, especially after seeing this white orb drift past just as Sean says he's feeling nauseous.
Like, I almost feel nauseous.
Whoa.
Back of my neck is...
No, dude, I am catching it on film right now.
I think there's a reason Sean is queasy. A spirit just traveled straight through him. Sometimes paranormal investigators get into the biz because they've experienced their own hauntings. That's true of the YouTube team, the new reality paranormal, who are investigating Sean's haunted home in this scary video. While listening closely in the home, they hear a strange EVP.
What was that?
That was something outside.
The voice is indiscernible, but it's there. Later, they again hear a disembodied voice.
So again, we're going to add another piece of equipment.
Did you just say something? Did you just say something?
Add another piece of equipment.
Right before... Nah, dude, I just heard a hey.
But one of the creepiest captures is during a spirit box session, when this woman's voice comes through.
You'll catch us.
It sounds like she's saying, "Don't leave me." I would feel sorry for her if she didn't sound so spooky. I'd leave here ASAP. Sorry, not sorry. When you hear footsteps in a place like this, run. YouTube team, 3 Spires Paranormal, have left a steady cam recording inside this haunted property, and this is what it captures. Here it is, louder this time. But it's not just ghosts that these guys have to worry about.
Hello? Right, camera's gone off to send, got... Oh, sorry. Well, we're just leaving. Right, okay, nice one, yeah? Yeah, sorry about that. I don't want to throw the torch at you, mate. No, that's fine, that's fine.
Luckily, this encounter ends with positive vibes, but to me, it's a reminder that one should be sure they're not trespassing, even if the place is a hollowed-out ghost haunt. Ohio's most haunted house is aptly known as Shadowman Manor. Stephen Dillon from YouTube channel Haunted Nights head to the 19th century home to investigate. They request some communication, and the spirits oblige.
Yeah.
A little later, they hear a humming noise.
You hear that? I couldn't tell what that was. Yeah.
Can't tell where it came from though.
Hello?
Then, while they're listening back to a recording, they hear a thud live.
What was that? You didn't hear that thud?
Like in this room over here?
I couldn't tell where it came from. There was a lot of movement though.
That was fly, right?
A lot of movement.
Down in the basement, another unexplained bang is followed by a disembodied voice.
That was like a voice. Do you know what year it is? Is it 2023 for you?
The activity in this house is subtle but chilling. I wouldn't want to pull an overnighter in this haunted place. You never know what might attach itself to you here. You're not going to want to open your kitchen cupboard after seeing this. TikToker Haunted TikToker shares this video of a creepy cupboard creature in Brazil.
Já vi isso aí pra filmar. Ó, ó. Tremendo, velho. Tô sozinho em casa aqui, gente. Escutei um barulho aqui no fundo aqui quando eu vi. Isso aqui, lá debaixo do tanque aqui de lavar roupa. Eu peguei e fechei logo, botei aqui o...
As the guy explains, he heard a strange noise coming from this cupboard and now is holding the creature hostage with a broom. What do you think it could be? Now it's time for the big reveal.
Até que eu pensei que poderia ser um gambá, mas não é não, quer ver, ó? Viu, ó, presta atenção, lá no fundo, lá no fundo nós temos o pequenininho que tá chorando, tá aqui atrás da porta aqui, ó. Olha, ó. Ó. Olha, ó. Olha esse aí, ó.
It's not just one creature, it's two of them. Some in the comments think they know what they are. While the eyes do look owlish to me, the one on the left looks like it has antennas. In my opinion, this is something extraterrestrial. You've probably caught a fish with a worm before, but have you ever caught a worm with a fish? TikToker Tightlines AUS shares this creepy video of a terrifying creature called a beach worm. Take a look. No, 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 no. New fear unlocked. Many in the comments are horrified by this thing. Personally, I'm never going to the beach again. While on a Randonautica adventure, YouTuber Exploring with Angelo and his team encounter a dangerous cult in the middle of the snowy woods. Will they be able to make it out? Let's find out. Angelo first senses that someone is watching them.
I think I saw something move down there. Hello? Yeah. Wait, I just heard something growl.
As they continue finding clues, viewers notice a small speck of light in the distance behind Brad.
So you just keep your cassette player on you? I mean, it makes sense because you continually keep finding these.
Did you see it too? Well, that may be a stretch. This next part isn't.
Bro. Dude. Holy
They need to go faster, just when you think they got away from him.
Get the back! Stay the away from us!
We need to get out of here. Let's go.
I think this experience would put me off of Randonautica for a while, or for life. Who knows what these madmen want? Whatever it is, I want no part of it. The team from YouTube channel Proving Demons is proving it again by meeting the devil himself in this scary video. While in this haunted prison, they are given a demonic message that sounds more like nagging.
Ginger, that said, I'm capable of harming the devil himself. That's serious.
Later, they hear some noises in the dark hallways.
What's that horrible noise? That's me, sorry. Sounds like machinery going off.
As they're listening intently to the screechy sounds they're hearing in the distance, a door opens much closer to home.
Yo, that door just opened. That door just opened. That door just opened.
Really?
Yeah. It was closed 2 seconds ago. And it just opened.
They again hear a distant scream.
What the What was that? You just hear the screaming? The guy yelling?
Although I didn't hear it myself, the next bit is plain as day.
Can you open that window again?
I literally.
Stop. Oh my.
It was like that bit came very to. And that does actually last this time.
Yeah. Look, oh my. Close it. There is no wind in here at all.
They continue to explore and hear a door slam, but unfortunately didn't have their cameras on to catch it. But then...
That was another door and I wasn't even filming. Please. Slam another door for us. It came from over here. That. Holy...
The doors and windows are opening and shutting everywhere in this prison. My theory is that the souls of former prisoners are trying to escape, but it looks like their life sentences are continuing into the afterlife. An entity known as Zepalintra appears to the YouTube team, Kai Investiga Cazadores Gilendas, on this road of entities, and it happens when they least expect it.
Bom.
Mano, ali, ó.
É ele, cara, é ele.
Né? Apareceu ali, ó. Caramba, velho. Ele apareceu pra gente, mano.
The figure in black stands still as a statue by their vehicle along the road. It raises a hand and then seemingly disappears.
Duas vezes o carro. É, ele falou carro. Ah, mano, ele sumiu, velho.
Mano, sumiu do nada, cara.
E ele falou que... Caramba, velho. E ele falou que ela...
While the cut in the video seems suspect, I can't say for sure if this was staged. But if not, he seems to be gesturing at them to follow, and if I were in their shoes, I'd be wary. Closed down for good in 1987, the untold terrors that happened at Penhurst Asylum have left their mark. The YouTube team, Ghost Trip Investigation, investigate the haunted place, and very soon, they hear something.
We actively encourage you to come close to the sound of our voice, to use our equipment.
Whoa.
Did you hear that?
That came from that way.
It's like a bang.
That was loud.
They enter the room where they heard the noise, and they find a name.
There's a name on this bed.
No, there's none.
Phyllis Irwin.
Oh my goodness.
That somehow makes things creepier. The guys continue on, and they're heading down a hallway when a series of things happens.
So we're down there now. It's not working! Did I just hear you come out of this room? Oh, mate, what is going on in this place? Did I see you walk out of here and walk up to our red light?
Then this crazy message comes through on their ghost app.
A word bank, and it generates random words as we go around. We've just had the name Phyllis, and then I'm asking for a surname, and it's come through on here, Irwin.
That cannot be a coincidence. And then, through another paranormal device, this is heard.
Oh, no, did it! No, stop. What's your surname, Phyllis?
Phyllis Irwin. I wonder what happened to Phyllis Irwin at Penhurst Asylum. Why does her spirit remain here? I hope one day we get some answers. Have you ever felt an evil energy you couldn't explain? The YouTube team, North Shore Paranormal, explores the Glore Psychiatric Museum. The museum is housed in the former State Lunatic Asylum No. 2, which opened in St. Joseph, Missouri in 1874. The museum sent me some historic photos, including this one I found the most chilling. This is the stomach contents of a patient here. As the North Shore Paranormal team explores, the building soon becomes alive.
Okay, that's the echo. Oh. Thank you. You're welcome.
After the EMF meter responds to their request, they move to the 3rd floor, where they receive this worrisome message. On the 2nd floor, they start to hear things.
Did you just make that noise? No, not you. I heard a click over here, and now the EMF's going on.
In one room, they notice 2 mirrors facing each other. This is often believed to be a vortex between 2 worlds, and that appears to come up in their communication.
Are you scared of Violet? Vortex. Vortex? Vortex? Where's the vortex here? Am I standing in one?
Would you consider those 2 mirrors?
Oh my... Oh my...
Perhaps the vortex has allowed spirits or energies to pass in and out of this haunting museum. They're in limbo, never able to return home, because where is their home now? I can't answer that question, but I can say it's making me never want to leave mine. Is this abandoned farmhouse haunted? That's what YouTube crew, Is It Haunted, is here to find out.
Tonight, me and Becky are on our own, and we're in this like mega old farmhouse, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's pretty empty, pretty void of any belongings or anything like that, but it's very, very...
They get responses on a spirit box and other EVPs.
Come to talk to any spirit energy tonight.
Then a ball moves at the top of the stairs, followed by a tapping noise.
Yeah, he's definitely got the heebie-jeebie feels.
What?
Oh no.
During another spirit box session, they receive an evil message. Then they capture a series of noises upstairs.
You want Becky to go upstairs?
So is this farmhouse haunted? I think they got their answer. Did this TikTok user capture a giant in the wild? Or is it just forced perspective? Shared by TikToker, this is what happens next. The video's original source is El Demonador de Sumizas. The TikToker spotted this abnormally large figure on a nearby hilltop. According to scale, the figure would have to be about 7 to 9 feet tall. It also appears to be floating at times. The semi-trucks passing by gives us a clearer idea of how giant this distant figure must be. Viewers were initially not totally convinced that this thing was a living being, that is, until the OP posted a second video where you can indeed see it moving.
Gigante ahí arriba. ¿Qué será?
Some in the comments say this could be an optical illusion. Others say that it's either balloons or green screen. Then, of course, there are the people who claim another person who posted video footage about a giant met an unknown fate. So, green screen, balloons, mountain specter, or a real live giant? My vote is giant, but I guess we'll have to see if the OP disappears to finally find out the truth. Hopefully it doesn't come to that to get some answers though.